Welcome to episode 250 of the Throwdown Thursday podcast. I am your host, Patrick Rahal, but you can call me Patsy the Angry Nerd. We are here, as you can see, broadcasting live from the Pat Cave. I'm here with our little friend, Johnny Wine Open Man. We are here brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee, as we are part of the Dorkening Network. And I am not here by myself. You can see the whole thing going on here with all the people here. But first, my co-host on the show, my co-host in life, she is the Baroness of Bordeaux, the Countess of Cabernet, the Mistress of Merlot, the Real Housewife of Transylvania, the Michael Phelps of Wine, the Queen of the Monsters, an honorary Lizzie. And there was one other one we said at the Cape the other day, and I don't remember what it is, and I didn't write it down. Ashes Von Nightmare.
So cheers to 250, first of all.
Cheers to 250.
Clinky. Got to make the clinky noise.
Oh,
Mazel tov, baby.
that is that's my $100 bottle of rum. Well, I mean, that's not the bottle, but that's from the bottle.
No, sir, you're a liar. That is not a bottle.
The bottle's a little bit bigger than
Slightly larger, yes. And that is from whence all of that stuff came. Oh my God! I was told this person was on vacation, so they weren't going to show up. But here he is. It's James. We have James from the Dorkening Network. We have Justin Cooper Duper.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, there's Harrison.
We dropped the duper on Ellis Island.
We are joined also, as you can see, by Bloody Jess Snyder, who is making her 912th appearance in just 250 shows.
You can't get rid of me.
We wouldn't want to. And of course, powerful Brandon. Folks,
what's up?
Thank you guys so much for joining us today on our very special 250th episode. James, I did not expect you.
Well, yeah, I saw it live. I saw the link, and I was sitting here, and I'll shoot on quickly. I did send you a video, so hopefully we'll play that.
I do have the video. It's queued up, ready to go.
There we go. So I just want to, Patsy, I've known you for a couple of years now. Mm-hmm. Ash, you guys do a great job, great show. You guys are great hosts. You got a fantastic product out there. I'm glad to know you guys. Cheers to 250 more episodes. I can't believe you got past to number 2, but hey, let's go. Further with that, but dude, love you, miss you, and congratulations and keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate the kind words.
No problem. So I'm gonna let you go. Enjoy the night. Enjoy the festivities. And I'll see you later.
All right, take care, buddy. Enjoy vacation.
Thank you.
Bye, Harrison. All right, that was unexpected because he did say that he wasn't going to be able to jump in, and he did say that he did send us the video.
Okay, so I usually don't like kids, but like that is one freaking cute kid.
Harrison looks exactly like him too.
Like that is one freaking cute kid.
Yeah.
Like every now and then I see a kid and I'm like, oh my God, you're actually cute. Like you're a cute kid.
I don't think James is listening anymore. You don't have to keep saying that.
I have somewhere. It's over there. I can't reach it, and I gotta stop gesturing with this arm. My niece. I saw my niece earlier today, and she signed a picture for me of her in her karate outfit. I'm like, oh, Emma, sign this picture. So she signed it, Emma, and then she wrote 2021, and underneath that, now.
Just in case.
She wanted you to know everything now is happening now.
So, how are you guys doing tonight? Oh, we got people watching. We got 3 people watching.
Yeah, I can see one of them.
I can see one of them.
James just left.
You.
He says, "I am always listening."
Yeah,
that's funny.
So thank you guys for joining. I know there's going to be other folks filtering in and out throughout the night. There's a couple of invites I sent out that I'm I'm hoping these folks jump on. If they do, awesome. If not, that's fine too. But there's a bunch of folks that I hope do end up coming. Hi guys, from Facebook user.
Hold on, I gotcha.
Yeah, so
Good old Facebook user.
Facebook.
they're both
Okay.
the best and the worst. So, Jess, I got to ask.
Yeah.
I saw your post from earlier. Did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish?
No,
It's Sarah B.
we're not talking about that.
That's why I said it in vague terms.
Could have fooled Patsy about a minute ago.
It's Sarah B. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for watching. Look at that. Like, that's most of our viewership right there in that room, if you count Coop.
Well, Buddy watches too. This is like Snyder Cut Part 2.
It kind of is. I mean, we
Yeah.
have S. Snyder, so
Yeah, that's
True.
right.
It's very true.
see, Sarah liked that one.
Yep.
We tonight are going to be talking about not only our favorite fandoms, but also some of our favorite characters. And I do have a question I want to save for a little later. You don't even know what it is,
Nope.
but I thought about it the other day.
I
and
skipped rehearsal.
I actually asked someone, and I was like, "Man, of these two things, which do you think is preferable?" I mean, that's not exactly how it's worded, but I don't want to give any hint or preview. Other than the fact that it'll be a choice between two things, it just hinges on: do you like both
Stuff.
Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings
Do you like stuff? I've,
Uh,
I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones in my life.
So you wouldn't be able to answer the
See,
question.
I think you might like it though.
It's like,
In all honesty, especially like the first couple of seasons.
I mean, there's zombies and beheadings and incest and attempted child murder.
Whoa. Why is incest a selling point, Pat?
You love
The first episode.
But, I mean, why is it a selling point? You're like, I think you'd really like it. It's got zombies and killing and mystical stuff and brother and sister banging and then a bunch of it's like, what was that?
Way to
What was
bury
that
the lead,
fourth-
right?
What was that fourth thing you just said? Oh, what, the zombies? Nope. After that.
but like they're really good looking. Does that make a difference?
no.
No! Man, I really wish incest porn had a more mainstream appeal.
It's like the
It doesn't?
when they're trying to book the birthday party at Cheesy Charlie's, where it's like, oh, we have lots of different ice cream: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, people. What was that last one? Strawberry.
Jesus. Ugh.
Oh. Anybody else feel some after effects from vaccination? Because I got mine earlier today, and I keep going to use my non-dominant left arm, which is weird.
I'm day 5
And how are you feeling?
from my initial dose. I had minor symptoms, but I'm the kind of person that's sensitive to side effects anyways. Like,
Mhm.
give me a flu shot, I'm going to get the flu for 3 days after that. Or if you give me a Benadryl, it's going to knock me out for 16 hours. So I got everything. I got the dizziness. I got the headache. I got the well, it wasn't just regular dizziness. It was more vertigo scale. And then I had a tender arm, and today's the first day where there is like, it's not as if I had even gotten a shot,
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad
But-
you're feeling better.
but it did feel bruised for like 5 days.
I had vertigo, and I kept like stumbling north by northwest.
I was waiting for the Hitchcock joke. I was waiting for it.
I thought it was going to be a U2 joke. You know?
I thought he was going to end with, and then I just really started feeling psycho or something
Yeah.
like that.
Down the 29 steps.
These jokes are for the birds.
Window.
But like, they scheduled me though, because a lot of people, or most people I've seen, will get their shots like, if the 2-step shot, you get it 1 week and then you get it like 2 weeks later
Mine's a month from now.
Yeah, same.
away, instead of like,
But yeah, I mean,
It depends on which one you get. Did you get the Moderna one?
Yes, I got the Moderna.
Yeah, so the Moderna one is a month between the two.
Yeah.
so I found out through talking about it with some of my coworkers that the reason it makes you sleepy is because that's when all like the updates have to be done to the microchip. Once you're in sleep, that's when they do the update.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah, we have.
No, it was
It's
obvious.
Microsoft though, so it does all the updates, which means it's doing nothing but updating until it's just no good anymore.
I know.
Your arm is obsolete in 2 weeks.
Flash
Yeah.
already.
Oh yeah.
Is this thing running on Windows XP? Yeah, we're fine.
I mean, you know, and to kind of talk about Windows for a second, it's funny. Like, I get all these people out here like, "Oh, I've got Windows 10." It's like, I'm already on Windows 98. Like, like you guys need to catch up. Have you ever seen Tron?
I sense there was like a Yakov Smirnov joke in there somewhere. You know, oh, what the country.
For
I
those
love it.
who are,
It's for Windows 98 to come back
yeah, eventually.
in like 10 years, because they update something every 6 months. But
The
Mhm.
98.
We'll have to cryogenically freeze Bill Gates.
Did anybody see, and this is kind of on topic for once because we're always talking about like villains and all the crazy things that villains do. Anybody see the
Jeff Bezos? Yes.
Luthor
Like
was doing?
the friggin' colors were just reversed on it too. That was the craziest part.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a purple shirt
With the
with black
strap.
stripes, it was a black shirt with the purple straps. I was like, what? Like
I got
how,
a super friends, man.
All villain-
how was no one on top of that?
It's like, oh, the ironing.
That's a passive aggressive tech doing something like that too.
Oh, yeah. Where was Elon Musk with his flamethrower yelling, "Get away from her, you bitch"?
Maybe he'll be Brainiac without the pants.
Yeah. I mean, Brainiac technically didn't need pants. I don't think he
No,
had
he didn't.
pants.
I mean, really though, do any of us
Apparently he did.
pants?
That's the thing. I saw that earlier today. Your pants can never not fit if you just don't wear pants.
Exactly.
Sound logic.
Yeah, I mean that works for me.
I couldn't even tell you what size pants I wear right now because general consensus is, well,
Well, here's the thing. And Matt and I have had this
It's a
conversation.
pants-demic.
It's pandemonium.
I hope it's short. Oh,
Oh.
let's go.
All right, well, I'm going to have to cut you off here.
Yeah.
Well, we had this conversation about pants because women's pants, the sizes are just like, oh, what do you think is a size 6? Well, I think it's this. Well, I disagree. It's this. Whee! But with men's pant sizes, it's supposed to be this is how many inches it is based on a specific agreed upon unit of measurement. I tried on how many pairs of pants in how many stores and how many cities before I found a pair of pants that fit me.
A lot.
It's like,
7.
oh, I'm a 42. No, this 42 is way baggy on me. This 42 is too tight. I can't get them on.
And then you found this 42 that was just right.
No, I never found the one that was just right. I still
Oh.
went with the one that was too big.
He's still looking for a 43. Good luck.
Excuse me, do you guys carry waist sizes that end in odd numbers? Thank you.
I need a 43 waist, one leg 27, the other leg 36.
Oh, jeez. That's like me trying to find 36 pants. It's just not going to happen. You know?
Well, you only need one pants. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're going to do with 36. So this is a thrilling episode. thus
Good
far.
job.
Yeah, it's like, so pants fandom. Are we going to talk about some Zubaz, some Knickerbockers? What do we got?
I had the Zubaz poster with Legion of Doom in my
Oh
room
my God.
with the baseball bats. Oh, yeah. Both of those guys are dead now.
I met one last year. He actually took our picture when we met Raven and Tommy Dreamer.
Oh my God. I met
Raven.
Raven at fucking Rockin' Shock.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Oh, I spent last night in a ditch. Would you want to buy some of my wrestling attire?" And like, I'm a big like wrestling fan, but like I was getting autographs from my brother, and like I'd be like, "Oh yeah, my brother's a big fan, and my other brother's a big fan too." He goes, "Oh yeah, everybody's a big fan, but you, huh?" And I was like thinking quick. I'm like, "Yeah, but I got to meet you. They're not here, so I need to get them souvenirs." He's like, "Oh yeah, you want to buy my shoes?" Oh, the in-ring wrestling shoes? No, my shoes I'm wearing.
Jesus.
Yeah, he I was surprised that like he was a lot bigger in person than I thought. But the funny thing about him is like he had a 45-minute conversation with us about Supernatural. It was just like, oh, apparently he's like a super fan.
I really
Oh,
dig
wow.
your homeless shtick. Yeah, shtick.
Stick.
He's the Lionel Hutz of wrestlers.
I tried to drink a Coke on the bus and they took away my pass.
I'll wrestle for this birdcage.
It's like, what's his name on Roddy Piper on Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Why does he have a bucket full of acorns? Does he eat these? Is he eating these? The maniac loves you. That's another dude I'm glad I got to meet, Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper was pretty awesome. It was 2008, and me and my buddy Joe went over there, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be right back. I just got to go, write my name on somebody's leg because somebody was getting his signature tattooed." And he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, sorry about that, guys." He goes, "What's your name?" My buddy's like, "Oh, I'm Joe." And he's like, "Oh, hey, Joe, how you doing?" Then he's like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Patrick." He goes, "Oh, fellow Irishman." And he picked me up off the ground in a fucking bear hug. This is a
That's
dude
awesome.
who rolled in like 2 hours late at Rockin' Shock with a case of Red Bull, and he was just pounding them throughout the night. It's like,
Eesh.
but, I
You didn't
Wait,
even
all right, hold on.
not Irish.
I'm not,
I was gonna say, you're not Irish, though,
I-
right?
but you're going to argue with a guy who just lifted me off and I am not. I mean, I was.
If you were Irish, you would have.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, Faith and Begora."
It would have been like, put me the fuck down, and a bunch of headbutts.
I'm not. I don't know Irish. I wish you would put me down. So, again, like we're talking about, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite fandoms today, and we mentioned Game of Thrones earlier, and how Jess has not yet seen it, despite the abundance of incest. She still hasn't gotten around to it.
Despite.
Well, nobody told me about the incest. Well, I'm on my way.
That's a horse of a different color. Why didn't you say so? Come on in.
Incest? Well, I'm in. Like, yeah. But yeah, there's some great stuff, some gratuitous violence. So, Coop, I know you've watched Game of Thrones, yes? I also know that you're on mute right now.
Here, here.
There we go.
Oh yes, I have seen it.
That was worth the wait.
Okay.
So, have you guys, and Brandon, you've obviously seen it.
Yes.
Have you guys ever seen the Sesame Street parody?
Game of Chairs. Yeah.
No, I have not.
Grover Bluejoy. And Ned loses first. He's like, "Oh, Neddy, don't lose your head," and then he tells Joffrey loses in like the third round. He's like, "Oh, sorry, Joffrey, looks like you choked."
This is Sesame Street?
Yeah, it's amazing. And then Rob leaves because he's got to go to a wedding. There's some amazing stuff there. Yeah.
I think I saw that the first time because Ashes posted it somewhere. That was great.
Oh, it was so funny.
Mhm.
And Grover ends up winning and becoming king.
That's awesome.
That's actually better than what happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Who has
It's
a
like an
better
episode
story?
of how it should have ended, huh?
Who has a better story than Grover Bluejoy? How?
I am the monster who now rules Westeros. Love it.
We're at the end of this book. Who rules Westeros?
Something about
There is an ice monster at the end of this wall.
this is a tree made of cookies. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah!
Instead of ravens, it's just like hundreds of big birds, like all the different ones from different countries.
Oh wow!
Hi, Stuffy.
Yeah, because in like France or something, he's like blue.
Yeah, and in Mexico, he's like green and yellow.
Mhm.
Winter is coming.
Hey, bird. Winter's coming.
Sweetums would be Homer. Sweetums.
Oh, nice.
Sam the Eagle would be Sam Tarley.
Oh no, I think he'd be the Hound, right? He'd be like, I want that chicken.
Maybe.
Look at all my little birds. 1, 2, 3 birds.
Oh, he would definitely be. Who would the Count be? All right,
I don't know.
Involved into who would Game of Thrones characters be if they were Muppets?
Or is this one of those like keep one of the actors and replace everyone else
No,
with Muppets?
keep none of the actors. Replace
All Muppets.
All of them with
Oh,
But, like,
Kelly.
specifically Sesame Street Muppets, though, or just like Muppets in general?
Oh, I like this.
general. So Sansa would be Prairie Dawn, especially early Sansa.
Wait, there. I got the Electric Mayhem behind me. To
I was
back
just
me up.
thinking. I was just thinking, like, who would Dr. Teeth be?
What Dr. Teeth would probably be.
Sarah said Snuffleupagus would be Drogon.
Yes.
Hi, my moon and stars.
Scooter and Skeeter could be Jamie and Cersei.
No. Miss Piggy has got to be Cersei.
Oh yeah, but there's no
Yeah.
other thing. Oh
Would
wait,
Oscar the Grouch be Walder Frey?
yes.
Yes. Yep.
That would be magnificent.
So the movie Follow That Bird, the other big bird, right? The one that was like chasing him. She could be Gwendolyn Christie's character. Brienne of Tarth.
Yes,
Ah.
Mrs. Finch could be Brienne.
Mrs. Finch. There you go.
All right.
Would Kermit be Ned?
Kermit would probably be Jon Snow.
Oh, okay.
nothing, Jon Snow.
Fine, I'm going to the Night Watch.
No, would have to be.
I love you, but I've made a vow.
Well, Denise. Denise would have to be Natalie Dormer.
Yeah.
Denise
Marjorie
the pig.
Tyrell.
Marjorie Tyrell.
Janice. Like,
Ooh.
Janice
like,
would be Daenerys.
totally. I want to rule the world. I mean, Westeros, the world,
All right, who would Animal be? The Night King?
Maybe Animal would be the Hound then.
I was just thinking
Yeah.
he would be the Hound of the Mountain. Just make a giant animal. Just use camera tricks.
Like in
Animal,
like in
The Muppet movie, or
the Muppet movie.
Yep.
I would say-
Animal would be Arya Stark.
No.
That would be funny.
No,
Piggy, wouldn't Piggy be Cersei?
she'd have to be either Cersei and then the other pig could be Daenerys. Denise can be Daenerys.
Who's better to rule the world than moi?
Chip from IT could be one of the maesters.
God, I'm gonna cry. My God, my dude. Oh my God, voices.
what about we get some Fraggles in on this, right? We could have.
Momo would be Sam Tarley.
I was thinking Tully. Oh, hey, Oscar.
No. No. Oh no, you're right.
How about Bert and Ernie?
Bunsen Honeydew would also be a he would be Ramsay and Beaker would be Theon.
Oh, that's a good one.
I was just gonna say the same thing for Bert and Ernie.
Oh.
Like Bert would be Theon and Ernie would be Ramsay.
Oh, God. That's a good one too.
I think that's good. So your favorite Stannis, who's going to play Stannis? Is that Sam the Eagle then?
Stannis would be Sam the Eagle.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Stannis would be Sam the Eagle because he's just. So then who's going to be. Oh, sorry. Who's going to be
Reek,
the other knight?
Reek, why are you so mad,
Ooh.
Reek? I'm so mad because you cut off my penis.
Hey, fishy.
And eating cookies in the bed.
Yeah, in the damn bed. Good reference there. What about Pepe as our I can't even think of him. Pedro Pascal's character.
Oh, Oberyn Martell.
Okay, you're gonna get poisoned. Okay. we still haven't picked out who would be Tyrion. You know.
Oh, Tyrion. Oh, Robin.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say Bean, but Robin's way better.
Yeah, I can think of Robin. What about Rolf?
or Rizzo, maybe.
Who's Rolf?
Who would Rolf play?
Oh, Varys.
Oh, okay.
Rolf is, but who's going to be Littlefinger? Like that's a tough one. Like who's a devious?
The Phantom. The Phantom.
Uncle Deadly.
Yes.
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 Ooh.
Also known as the Phantom.
Hello. Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah, these are good.
Jess, who's your favorite Muppet?
I actually I just discovered a cosplayer on TikTok. If you guys don't have a TikTok, you need to get on TikTok. I discovered the perfect animal cosplayer.
Okay.
This girl cosplays animal and she is hysterical. Like she kills me. I can't remember her screen name, or else I would absolutely plug her because she is absolutely worth going.
Oh, we put it in the show notes at some point.
I would love to say it's just like she dresses up in the cosplay and just starts going cosplay.
It does. She has like the orange bangs, and then she does like the red lined lip just on one side. And then she did like the whiteout contacts, so she actually looks like Muppet eyes. And then she has
crazy
red hair.
That's cool.
And she's the cutest thing. I love it so much.
Does she do the Muppet burlesque?
No.
Well, I guess Pat's not interested anymore.
Well, no, like I saw the Muppet burlesque a few years ago, and I was like, this is weird. Like
delightfully insane.
Yeah,
so we have the weirdest beaker right now.
Confusing boner.
If this girl is listening to the podcast and you are the girl who plays Animal, you're freaking amazing and I love you.
She should be listening. Everybody should.
Did you hear that, hon? No, it's
so it looks like we have 3 people on Facebook, 1 on Twitch. Very fun. I don't know how many Twitch followers we have, but if you you want to chime in, feel free to chime in. Let us know what some of your recastings would be. So let's get into what we were actually going to talk about, other than pants and Muppets.
Well, it sounds like we got a show though.
This is a good organic conversation. Like this is the type of shit that we would be talking about if we're all hanging out right now.
I mean, that is what we're doing, though. We're all hanging out right now, right?
I meant like in person, and we weren't, didn't have a camera in front of us.
It would be the loudest room ever.
You think
it means nothing?
Except
hey, we got one of my old students, Patrick Turner, chiming in. Hello, Mr. Turner.
Turn down for what?
Yeah, so let's talk about some of our favorite fandoms. So let's start alphabetical. Brandon.
Yes, that my name begins with a B. That holds up. That tracks. So yeah, my favorite fandoms is it?
Yeah, like what's something that you return to, whatever media, whether it's movies, TV, books, comics, erotic fan fiction, whatever works for you.
And what are some of your favorite characters within those fandoms?
Okay.
Why are they all Superman?
Well, I mean, Justin, you're next, so go ahead. No, I mean, Superman is my favorite character, but I mean, I'm a big old movie, TV, comic book geek altogether. If it's a good story, it's a good story. no matter what, and I'll sign on. I'll pretty much check out anything for the most part. I will not watch a Serbian film because I know too much about that, and thankfully I know too much about that.
The Serbian film or
Love
the
that movie so
Serbian
much.
I think you know, pal.
like any Serbian film whatsoever.
Uh, but no, I mean, I read a lot of comics. I do gravitate towards that medium in general. I don't require like super heroics in my stories. I'm fine with talking heads. Some of the best stuff literature wise you can find as quote graphic novels. A good solid example is one that actually gets assigned in like high schools is Mouse, which is an allegory for Nazi Germany, but told through the lens of the Jewish people in Germany at the time being mice and the Nazi party being cats. And there's also some other stuff takes place in the Middle East, like Persephone. Just excellent books. But otherwise, I do, when it comes to stuff that I watch regularly, I lean towards comedy a lot of the time. I enjoy laughing. Sometimes for me to get out of my own head because it can get pretty dark in here. I need like an external source to make me chuckle. Most recently, Dara and I, my wife Dara and I rewatched The Good Place, which I absolutely am in love with because I'm also like a bit of a philosophy nerd. So that was like right up my alley when it showed up. And I'm also just altogether, probably aside from comic books or anything like that, Stephen King. I am a gigantic Stephen King fan. And I mean, the breadth of my fandom is gigantic. I am only 5'7", so not that big.
I was literally
personally.
because you're 6'8".
yeah. This is an illusion. I'm actually sitting 8 feet away from the camera. But
I'm just far away.
I've been a big fan of Stephen King for a long time. I started when I was in 3rd grade. I saw It, the miniseries, and proceeded to ask my dad a million questions about it when he finally just looked at me and said, "You watched that movie when I was taking a nap before work, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." And I'm terrified. I'm 9 and I'm afraid for my life. Help me, please. And
fault for taking a 6.5-hour nap.
Well, it didn't help me either that my bedroom at that point in time was right next to the bathroom. So like every night I was like, something's coming up from that sink and it's gonna get me. I just know it. I know it. I knew it.
I can never bathe again because something's gonna come out of that drain.
It was horrifying. But the funny thing about that is I was such a pest to my dad asking questions about the story because I knew he read the book that eventually he just said, "Kid, we're just going to record your questions and send them to Bangor, Maine." And that's what we did. We recorded them on a cassette tape and sent them to Stephen King. And because I was 9 years old, I forgot about it a week later. And the next year, the day before my 10th birthday, I was just getting back from a Cub Scout field trip to the local newspaper. I had an envelope in the mail and I opened it up and it was a birthday card from Stephen King. Straight up, happy birthday. And then on the inside, he wrote, "Dear Brandon, have a creepy 10th, Stephen King." And I proceeded to exchange letters with he and his assistant, Marcia DiFilippo, for the next 5 or 6 years. And he's actually the one that recommended I read The Lord of the Flies when I was going into 6th grade. He and his assistant, they guided a lot of what I did when I was in junior high going into high school. So that's always going to have a very soft spot in my heart.
Awesome.
That's an amazing story. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't bust it out for everyone, but I mean, it's the 250th episode. Why the fuck not?
And speaking of,
but I mean, like that says a lot to the Stephen King's character as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the funny thing is like I remember bits and pieces. You can remember I was 8, almost 9, but I remember bits and pieces of what I asked on the tape. And a few years later, when I forged my father's signature to fraudulently get an adult library card from the local library. Well, that was Catholic school. They trained me how to write like that. So that's on them. Good job, Jesus folks. And I actually read it when I was 11. Any 11-year-olds listening, do not do that ever. You wait until you're a freshman in high school. But I ended up asking. I remembered asking him certain things, and one in particular was, never reading the book, being 8 years old, only having seen the movie and been scared shitless. I said, "Is it something that like maybe crashed down and has been here for millions of years, and everything just formed up around it, and that's why it's like such a part of the town, and because it's always been there before humans were even around?" And then I never got answers. I got a birthday card, and then we exchanged letters back and forth about different topics. And then I finally read the book when I was 11, and I get to the part where Mike and Richie have the vision in the smokehouse and straight up see it landing millions of years ago on Earth. And I was like, son of a bitch! 8-year-old me was fucking finger on the pulse! No wonder he sent me a birthday card. He must have been like, how the fuck does this kid realize this? So, I had that going for me. It's always amused the hell out of me. But yeah, like it was very, very cool for them both to take the time regularly to answer me back. They could have just thrown that on a junk pile. So that to me just speaks of how much he cares, not just about like little kids that might be sending him stuff, but all of his fans. He I think he affectionately calls them constant readers for a good reason, and they come back for things like that. They understand, like even through the written word, that he's a dude that kind of gives a shit.
Yeah. Well, I want to break in real quick because we have Rigor here, and
hey Matt.
For a moment, like the way that you were presenting yourself, I thought you had like dangly cross earrings. I thought you were
it's my headphones,
like a Billy Idol cosplay. Like I thought that's what we were looking at here, because you've got the black...
you got the snow, man. I love it.
So Rigor is co-host with me. Well, it's his show, but I jump on. But I co-host with him.
You're doing that freeze thing again.
On the East meets the West, where we pair a spaghetti western with a Shaw Brothers.
I keep losing it.
And for the longest time, I didn't know who the Shaw Brothers were. I just assumed they were Rick and Scrim, but it's like a whole different thing. But Roger also does the Then Is Now, and I guessed it on that a couple times. We talked Jaws and The Thing.
That's right. Yep. Actually, Patsy, do you remember you and I actually met like 8 years ago? We were at a 7-Eleven and you said to me, "Give me all your money."
That sounds about right.
Sure it wasn't a Cumberland Farms.
Was it Cumbies, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it may have been Cumbies, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Pat was the one behind the counter, so it's like, give me all your money. Dude, I just wanted a Slim Jim. What the
it costs all your money. We did get a couple of comments. We have from Mr. Turner. He says, if everyone was a philosophy nerd, the world would be a better place.
I agree.
Our Facebook user,
Sarah,
watched IT. I don't know what that is. At my friend Amanda's house, when we were in 6th grade. After her parents went to bed, they found us the next morning on the floor next to their bed, huddled together, fast asleep. So
she tells that story every day.
Can't sleep. Clouds will eat me. Can't sleep. Clouds will eat me.
Exactly. I will say I got my my BAM horror box today. Speaking of it,
Nice.
and there is a nice picture of all the Losers Club from the original miniseries, signed by Ben.
Brandon Crane? Nice.
That's awesome.
That's
Wow.
Isn't he the only one from the original cast that showed up in the new movies as well?
yes.
Yeah. Very cool. So I got that nice Beckett certified.
Those are great. I got last month Emilio Estevez on a Young Guns 2 and it was like a huge one. I'm like, this is awesome.
I got
Nice.
Emilio.
So Rigo, we are discussing this evening our favorite fandoms and our favorite our favorite characters. You missed the conversation about pants. You missed the Game of Thrones recast as Muppets.
Did he miss the conversation about pants? Like, did he miss it?
So as we are continuing to go in alphabetical order, I was going to do it all backwardsy, but we have two J's. But so we'll go next with Jess. So Jess, what are some of your favorite fandoms and your favorite characters?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. I'm still very much a Harry Potter fandom kid.
That's
That's
fair.
getting harder and harder because of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, the books are done. She can't do any more
Screw
damage.
J.K. Rowling, but the story.
Yes and yes. Yeah, no, I dig it, Jess, for real. Like I read all the books. I totally get it.
And came out like when the movies started coming out, you know, they would basically put out like 2 a year. So
Yeah.
the summer movie that always came out the week of my birthday.
Wow.
It was always
Wow.
smack dab middle of July.
There
That's
you go.
pretty cool.
Easy gift giving. Tickets to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's Harry's birthday too.
And I was like 12 when all of this came out to begin with.
Oh, geez.
So I was absolutely all over the whole, you know, Daniel Radcliffe thing.
And you basically grew up with Harry Potter, you know?
Yeah, we're literally like I'm less than a year older than him, I think.
Wow.
Radcliffe or Harry Potter?
Huh?
Radcliffe or
Yes.
Harry Potter, because Harry's like my age. Harry's going to be 40 this year.
Yeah, Harry will be 40 technically, but yeah, I'm Daniel Radcliffe's age. I'm a little older, I believe.
That's about right.
Those rides are something else. Have you ever been to Universal Studios? Been on the Harry Potter rides? They're amazing.
Not
I
yet.
want to.
I can't.
The plan
Scared the
was-
crap out of my kids.
We were going to go to Universal last year, and then I don't know. We just got caught up and stuff, and I don't remember what happened, but we didn't go.
Well, a pandemic broke out, so.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's the thing.
I kept
Was that damn
I'm dyslexic, and I thought everyone was worried about a panda medic. Like I was like, it's like, man, what is this? Yeah, I'm with you. I have multiple copies of the books. Like, it's one of those things. It's like it sucks to find out somebody's a scumbag because, like, I used to be a huge Kevin Spacey fan and loved all his movies and watched them all the time. I mean, The Usual Suspects is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
You go, K-Pax! You go!
I didn't hate K-Pax. but-
Go K-Pax.
Oh no, he's trying to touch me.
I just had Darrow watch Swimming with Sharks for the first time over the past year. I love that movie. It's so fucked up.
So good.
Is it
It's
Frank Whaley in
amazing.
that?
Yes.
One of my favorite all-time actors, Frank Whaley.
Dude, I just want to see Frank Whaley and Parker Posey in a movie because it's like the king of the independent movies and the queen of the independent movies. Just do the thing already. Come on.
I loved him in Fred Claus.
That was pretty good too.
Wow, that's
Little
such an
Monsters.
obscure
He was great as the villain in Little Monsters.
Well, I-
career opportunities, my friends.
He
Career
got-
opportunities.
He
Yeah,
got the Superman cape and then ends up playing Lex Luthor.
Oh, you're talking about Kevin Smith. Okay,
Oh yeah.
we got two different things going on here.
Yeah, there's so many things going on. So, Jess, what else? What other fandoms do you have, like in characters?
Well, I kind of like stepped on my own foot there with that fandom for a minute because I have to live up to my name. So I'm gonna have to go with another fandom franchise that I like is The Nightmare on Elm Street
Yes.
because I have to go back to my horror roots.
Yes.
That's true. I was like, wait, are you gonna say that like you love all of Zack Snyder's movies?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I thought you were I thought you were gonna say like, oh, I really like what Zack Snyder did with the Dawn of the Dead remake.
I was thinking D. Snyder, maybe. So I'm a really big fan of Twisted Sister.
I love
You know,
fucking Strangeland. It's my shit.
Quoting different things at the same time. Oh, geez. All right, so go ahead, Jess. Can continue.
Robert Englund. Enough said.
Mm-hmm.
I have the
Just
glove
Robert
over there.
I'm a woman. Robert Englund.
I'm a man, Robert England. I get it.
I loved him in V.
Yeah, I actually I had a photo taken with him and my buddy Alex DiVincenzo from BrokeHorrorFan.com, and when we were in line, it was right before us. It was amazing to see. There was a young girl. I mean, she had to be like 8 or 9 years old, and she was so excited to meet him, and he was tickled pink that this little kid wanted to take a photo with him.
Yeah.
And he took a couple good photos with her, but she was shy because she was so nervous about meeting Robert England. They finished the photos, and the photographer was just like, okay, next person. And Robert England, after a second, was like, no, stop, hold on, and then walked away from the camera and went to the edge and went, hey, honey, come back here for 1 second, hon. Come here. And then brought her out and had the photographer take like another half dozen photos to make sure that she got the absolute perfect one for her to remember. It was awesome. It was just so awesome to see.
That's cool.
Ironically,
cool.
she slept well that night.
I as you mentioned, Justin, he was on V. He played Willie, and I went to a convention with a friend of mine when we were kids because that's where we knew him from. And he comes out on crutches with a cast on his leg, and he's like, "Oh, you're probably wondering why I broke my leg. Well, I just made this movie. I think you're gonna like it. It's called Nightmare on Elm Street, and I play this character called Freddy Krueger." We were like, "What? What the heck is that?" And then, of course, it came out like a year later. It was awesome.
Now, Jess, do you have a a favorite movie out of the franchise, or just whole kit and caboodle?
Oh, that's a hard question.
That's not a hard question. That's an easy question.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, so let me guess. Part three. All right, what about you, Jess? Hey, you want to hear something fun? I do like New Nightmare a lot.
New Nightmare's good.
It's funny when you look at New Nightmare and the fact that Wes Craven did Scream as well, because they were both meta horror, and you weren't really getting a whole lot of that. It's like those two and In the Mouth of Madness were like my go-tos for the longest time when it came to meta stuff. Like those are like high watermarks as far as I'm concerned.
That was the Diner series, wasn't it?
We'll say that again.
That was the Diner series, wasn't it?
The Diner?
He did basically it was titled like Nightmare on Elm Street, but it was a TV series. And based
Freddy's Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares. Yep.
That's what it's called. It escaped me for a minute, but loved it.
No worries. That's why we have Justin here, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fantastic. Very lived, but
No, it was very short lived. It was around the same time or thereabouts as the Friday the 13th series, which was also a fun anthology.
Yeah, very good.
There's actually a little bit more connective tissue between a couple of the episodes of the Friday the 13th series, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so I mean, pretty much everyone here is like part 3 is like their favorite. That I'm not surprised by that at all.
No,
but
am I?
I will say this: growing up watching those movies for the longest time as a kid, my favorite, just for full-on horror, not like fun, like kids having powers in their dreams kind of thing. Full-on horror. I always was impressed with both parts 1 and 2 because of the fact that part 1 was, he haunts your dreams and that's scary as it is, but the fact that part 2 actually directly connected to it and had it be that Freddy, because he got pulled through, was stuck there in that house, and it became a full-on possession story. So a very different type of horror story, but still the same character. I was always impressed by that, and it wasn't until I was like a fucking junior in high school that one of my buddies, who, in the nicest way possible, is this, gayer than a handbag full of rainbows, was like, that part 2 is like a gay horror movie, right? And I was like, what? And then he just broke it all down for me. And I was like, oh, whatever, man. It still rocked the shit. So I don't give a fuck.
I have to say, though, with part 3, for me, when I saw that in the movies, I was really disappointed, mainly because the kid who was the D&D kid, his imagination should have just been able to do anything he wanted, and they totally just wasted him, and then boom, he was dead. And that was a big disappointment for me.
I understand that. It's sort of the same thing, like not in the same movie, but other side of the same coin. The comic book artist in Part 5.
Yes.
The Dream Child. Like a comic book artist. What?
Right.
Like he got wasted that quick? Nah.
Yeah, we're gonna be giving these a rewatch. We just watched one the other day, and all I can think of is the pitch meeting. It's like, oh, how much blood did he have? Oh, like several hundred gallons. He probably died anyways.
I would be in heaven.
But
I know you would.
Isn't Rufus Sewell in that one?
Is my favorite first setup film of all of these franchises, because I think it does such a good job of introducing Freddy Krueger and establishing what he who he is and what he does and how terrifying he can be. I don't think that some of the other franchises did as good of a job as Nightmare on Elm Street did with establishing that.
Speaking of
Speaking of a Nightmare on Elm Street,
somebody who will haunt you in your dreams, but in a sexy way. We just got joined by Leo.
Hey,
saying all bad things about me. I hope
The snake
Not
slayer.
anymore.
Not now.
The slayer of snakes.
I just want to say we got a couple of messages from Leanne, who is also known as Ursula Grimsworth on the other side of midnight, and Michael Ravenshadow, wishing us a happy 250 right before Trick or Treat Radio goes on. So appreciate that. So Leo, we're going around the horn here, talking about pants and replacing Game of Thrones characters with Muppets. Also,
are you going to give every single person who pops
I
in?
was gonna say, you're gonna get the rundown of every topic right to the point where they signed in.
How do you feel about cargo shorts?
I might.
I don't know. Too many pockets, not enough. You decide.
Let's ask Rob Liefeld. Oh wait, no.
I'm wearing one shirt but a pair of pants. What a conundrum.
As for Game of Thrones, instead of Muppets, we just need to redo the last 2 seasons. Just
I mean,
wipe off the slate.
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I haven't finished it.
Then don't worry about it.
With Muppets.
It probably would have been better with Muppets.
If you didn't finish it now, just stop. You'll save yourself some pain. Just
That's like
don't even
it's
worry
like
about it.
Dexter. The
Well, I
last
have the whole
season doesn't
collection.
exist.
Dexter is actually filming right down the street.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
You go there and you shake your fist and you tell them they messed up.
Speaking of,
Well, I mean, isn't this them trying to retcon things?
no,
Yeah.
they're coming up with a new season.
Oh, okay.
Well, new season, but I thought it's not retconning, but it's trying to repair the last season. That's what I thought.
Uh-huh.
Did any of you guys-
Blah. Yeah, it's
Retconning and repairing in Game of Thrones. We are now also joined by Colleen the Conqueror.
Oh,
Hi.
Colleen, none of those pictures behind you looks like a Bruins jersey.
Speaking of, I just got it today.
It's so pretty.
Colleen won that in one of our friends' groups, Major Sports Drops. It is signed by 15 different Bruins, including a bunch who no longer play for the Bruins.
Wow. That's
It-
awesome. I was hoping there was like a follow-up explanation to why you brought up a jersey, because I was like, wow, Pat, you're really good at telling what things aren't other things.
I also don't see a tree house.
A dog, a fish, none of that.
Not a single rickshaw in sight.
I would say his superpowers of the in the same universe as Captain Hindsight.
Captain Hindsight. I was bitten by a retroactive spider. So, Colleen, all right. So now we've got a bunch of people on here. I want to ask my question before we get into the next person's fandoms and characters that they like. So this question assumes that you are familiar both with Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. Now, Rigor, you might not have watched all of Game of Thrones, but you might still be able to answer this question if you've gotten about 4 seasons into it.
Starts off in the final season.
I'll be honest. I've only watched the first season so far.
In the last season, when Ned Stark mounts Drogon,
In the Vale of Erebor.
When Captain Jack Sparrow takes the throne. What the
Right.
So, who would you consider to be a worse dad, Denethor or Balon Greyjoy?
Oh, aren't they almost the same?
Denethor loves Boromir. Hello? He loves Boromir. He's all about that shit.
He loved, and Denethor, not Denethor, Balon.
The steward of yeah. He also, let's see, he also likes, what's his name? Pacey from Dawson's Creek. Yeah, on Fringe.
Yep.
So,
Joshua Jackson?
yeah, he likes him because he was his son on Fringe. So,
Oh.
yep.
Oh, we got Joe, the
John Noble. Isn't that his name? John?
Yes.
Yeah, John
You're
Noble.
right.
Yep.
We got Joe from The Other Side of Midnight and multiple other things as well. The Stoop.
No one else wants to pick this hot topic up about Denethor?
Denethor?
Denethor, yeah.
I'm not as well versed in the Lord of the Rings as many of you might be. I watched the movies and I've read The Hobbit. The books themselves may as well be the literary version of NyQuil for me.
Yes. But given what you've known of how Denethor acts towards his children, especially Faramir, who do you think is the worst dad?
Definitely Greyjoy. Definitely Greyjoy.
Greyjoy? Justin?
Yeah, Greyjoy's terrible.
Yeah, that guy's the worst.
Yeah.
What a dick.
I hope he drowns. Oh.
Ooh.
I hope he tumbles off a rickety
That's
bridge.
I hope he falls off a rickety bridge, the bastard.
Leo?
Of the two, I would say Greyjoy, but if I had a choice, I'd go Tywin.
Oh, Tywin's the best.
He's the worst.
He's not even one of the choices.
I know, but going by worst dads, he's the peak. He's
Did
the
hang his son's hooker. Like that.
How is Stannis not the worst father?
Well, because we haven't, because
Oh,
not every.
We're getting there.
I see. We're getting political, huh?
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, the North remembers, pal.
How about you
Pepperidge
there,
Farm, remembers.
Rigor? What do you think?
I plead the fifth. I only got to the end of season 1, so
I don't know if you've seen Balon Greyjoy yet.
no, I'm just still upset that Michael, what's his name, Sean Bean got killed. So
Yeah, in a stunning move that absolutely no one watching that show saw coming.
No, you weren't waiting for that national treasure. You're like, this guy's gonna die.
Oh yeah, I just watched that the other day, and I thought it was like I've seen this before, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna die this time. Colleen, how about you?
Well, I think it's interesting because Greyjoy did have those 2 older sons that died, and that's kind of when he took his fall, the same way that Denethor did when Boromir died. So there's kind of a parallel there, but between the 2 of them, Greyjoy is kind of the larger dick. So
I'll go with that too. Did you pay the iron price for that or gold? That's what I thought.
I dub him Unfaramir.
I can't believe you like Boromir better. It's not fair, Boromir.
I'm David Tulis.
I mean, they're both just
The worst.
horrible. But at least I think I have to go with Greyjoy because he's horrible to like all of his children.
That's true.
Mhm.
How about, folks watching, who do you think is worse, Denethor from Lord of the Rings or Balon Greyjoy? I don't know if I heard Sarah chime in the background.
No.
But let us know. We got.
If you like cherry tomatoes, you hate Denethor.
Oh yes.
that scene is still haunting forever.
Oh, I want some chicken wings and tomatoes. Like, why should your songs be unfit for my holes?
They actually filmed that at a medieval times.
Win the Renaissance.
Yes, they did.
They went back to the medieval times.
All right, we have a Facebook user. I'm guessing is Sarah. Yep, Sarah says Greyjoy, so it's pretty much unanimous.
Pretty much.
As big of a tool as Denethor is. Let's see. Bob says you can count on one hand the amount of respectable people in Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's like Ghost and Sam.
Pretty much.
Is it the Kingslayer's hand?
Oh.
Sorry. Shh.
You can count on a single hand.
Sorry.
What was the name of that guy that got killed? Oh, no.
All of them.
Yeah, that guy.
No, I was going to say, oh, there he goes. He's leaving. Yeah, pretty much everybody. That's the first advice I give to anybody who's going to watch that show. Like, oh, who's your favorite character? Don't. No. Well, I really I like this guy Ned. So
heads up.
Yeah.
It's all about Varric Dondarrion. That's all you need to know.
Before we get to Justin, I need to point something out. And I've said this on Facebook a few times. The next time someone tells you can't have things both ways, just remember Sean Bean's name is not pronounced Sean Bon or Sean Bean. Just remember that.
The more you know. That's awesome.
So, Justin, your favorite... I really like the dire wolf.
Well, they were cute puppies.
Are you kidding me? Like, I could have a fucking wolf pack of 100 roaming the Riverlands on a fucking wolf I could ride like a horse. Hell yeah. So, Justin, next to you, because we're doing alphabetical order, so it'll then be Rigor, Leo, and Colleen.
It's such a hard question. I mean, I know we've talked about like so many of these, just to build on a couple that have probably never really been discussed on the show. I'm a big fan of the Dark Crystal. Shout out to Skipper Bob out there. We've talked about it a couple times. So a huge fan of Jim Henson, anything Muppets, Fraggles, huge Fraggle fan.
Yes!
Gravity Falls. I don't think you guys have talked about Gravity Falls yet, right?
We haven't watched Gravity Falls.
I've heard that there's a lot of weirdly enough, like Twin Peaks references in Gravity Falls.
Yes.
Which I'm not trying to make a pun, but that's really piqued my interest because like I love Twin Peaks. I probably should have brought that up, but
Bob. Yeah.
But I was kind of taken aback by that. I was like, do I need to check this cartoon out?
You like Rick and Morty, so there's tie-ins to Rick and Morty. There's tie-ins to Weird Al Yankovic, so there's two connections for you, right? I mean, I'm like literally like a super fanboy. But just like those two, like even just like Gravity Falls, just to discuss because it like has been brought up. I have one, and it's funny. My kids will even attest to this. I have one catchphrase in my life. It's that Gravity Falls has the most beautiful animation I've ever seen. I say it so often.
Bob says, "What? Go watch, go fuck."
I guess we see what we want to see, huh, Pat?
So, where is Gravity Falls? Where can you watch?
I thought it was Goldfinger. Gravity Falls is in Oregon. Girlfriend, yeah. It's in Oregon, I believe.
No. I mean, where is it? Like Hulu?
Oh, Disney Plus. Hulu does have it.
I believe it takes place in the land of
Actually, it's an animated show.
It lives inside of us all.
Real Gravity Falls is the friends we made
along the way.
Yeah. Would someone help Gravity up?
You just reminded me of like one of those geek moments. Like, how do you know you're a geek, right? I was working and we were doing this thing for Halloween. I was working as a manager of a bank, and one of my employees' mom comes up, and I go, "Oh, are you going to dress up for Halloween?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be Medea." I'm like, "Oh, I bet you didn't think I knew who that was. The wife of Jason and the Argonauts. She cut people into pieces and threw them off at their pursuit of the Golden Fleece." They looked at me like I had 3 freaking heads. Just like,
good job, buddy.
I'm that guy. So
Wait,
Yeah, she was like, no, I meant more like hallelujah.
Tyler Perry. Yep.
Bob says it's either watching this or Takeover. I don't know what Takeover
That's the NXT wrestling.
National Xylophone Tournament.
It is, yeah. It's pretty good. You have to be careful because when they get to the end, they hit the dynamite.
Everybody, everyone leaves because they think it's just they're being attacked by spooky skeletons.
Send shivers down your spine.
Quick out! Igor, how about you? Favorite fandoms and some of your favorite characters?
All right. Well, I'm not going to bore you guys with this one, but my longtime 40-year obsession is General Hospital. Been watching that since I was 11, and I could go on for another 40 years about that. Oh, thank you. I have to say, let's see. Lately, what have I been into? Regular show is one of those things that just doesn't go away. I love that show.
Awesome ending.
Actually,
on
been
that
catching
too.
the original Muppet Show on Disney Plus. On which?
The regular.
Oh,
awesome ending.
Regular show
on...
has that'll bring you to tears if you watch that show and then get
regular
to the
show.
ending.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah. The one that always gets me is Skips' origin. I just love that when he finally explains his whole life and why he's the way he is.
Mark Hamill.
I haven't watched that.
But I've been checking out a lot of the old the original Muppet Show lately. I watched I started, of course, I got my grandson watching it now. So we started with Vincent Price, of course. And then the next episode was like Christopher Reeve and then Linda Carter. And it was I just remember them all from when I was a kid. I was allowed to stay up to watch that when it was on.
I actually have
a
friend of mine who he did a wood burning plaque for me of Vincent Price, and it is one of my prized.
Oh, that's awesome.
Your prized possession.
Yeah.
My prize.
Yeah.
Well done.
And aside from, of course, watching most of the CW superhero shows, which I love. I mean, I could get into that for hours. Been catching a lot of Quantum Leap because it's on, I think it's on Charge TV. So I'll happen to, every time I stop watching whatever I'm doing, the regular TV comes on and that channel happens to be on. So I've been catching a lot of Quantum Leap lately. I just love that. I think Scott Bakula's
acting. Every time you start watching it, you're just like, oh boy.
Yeah, exactly.
That show is so ahead of its time too.
I loved Quantum Leap. Loved it.
So
And
good.
it was one of the biggest bummers of my fucking life how they ended that show.
Right. Yeah.
Dr. Sam Beckett.
Never made it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Bullshit. All that time and you end it with a fucking card? That's what breaks the first fucking rule of filmmaking. Show it. Don't tell it.
At least
you
it wasn't
assholes.
where it turned out to be taking place in the mind of an autistic kid with a snow globe.
Hey, at least they even got off of Gilligan's
They
Island.
showed the kid with the snow globe.
That's true. They just put a card up. This has all been
This is all a kid's dream. What?
You know
How
what
much
really
cocaine
disappointed
were
me
they
though?
doing in the writer's room?
all of it.
No, what really disappointed me was the movie Lord of Illusions because I went into that thinking, all right, Scott Bakula is going to be awesome. And they gave him like no emotional range whatsoever. He was flat through the whole movie. And I don't think that was his fault. I think that was the filmmaker's fault.
You gotta watch
And-
Unnecessary Roughness.
Damn
That'll put
it.
you straight.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
Damn
Yeah.
it, I was just going to say that. I actually love that movie.
Wait, let's
Yeah.
go back. Go ahead, Brandon. Let's go.
Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. I love that.
Was like Kathy Ireland in that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sinbad.
Yep. Sinbad, Kathy Ireland. Is it Hector Elizondo? He's
I
the
think you're right. Yeah.
he's
so,
the
yeah.
coach. I believe he is.
I
But
thought
yeah,
Robert Loggia. I don't know.
Robert Loggia.
You know how
That's
to spell
R.
No.
R as in Robert Loggia.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God! It's Robert Loggia.
B as in
I
by
love
God,
that guy.
Robert Loggia.
Okay. Well, this is going on now.
Everybody loves Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia.
I want to see a fight.
Jim, look over
Between-
there. Isn't that Robert Loggia?
I want to see a fight between Robert Loggia and Jonathan Banks.
Bob says, my planet needs me. I have to go now.
Shout out to the Creed
Jonathan Banks.
I just have to.
real quick. I was just saying, Jonathan Banks. I had my wife watch Airplane for the first time. Did you know that he's in that?
Yeah.
He's one of the guys in the control tower in Airplane.
Yes,
He has a full head of fucking hair in it. It really
Right,
threw
yeah.
my shit off.
Yeah.
I want some coffee, Frank. No
That's
thanks.
fucking Mike Ermitrout.
What's the vector, Victor? Roger.
What's our clearance? Do we have clearance, Clarence?
You know what?
What's that,
Brent,
Clarence?
we have to do a when we were doing the what you call it, the Mel Brooks films. We have to do Airplane.
Oh man, you ever seen a grown man naked, Billy?
You like gladiator movies,
You like
Joey?
gladiator movies?
You know what? I was saying that I like watching the Poseidon Adventure.
Speaking of that, all three are up.
Nice.
I was just gonna say real quick, Skipper. I need new glasses. I could have sworn he said my plants need me now. I'm like, wow, that guy really takes care of his plants.
He doesn't mess around, man. He's got topiaries. Yeah, it's Kentucky Fried movie.
Like an Audrey 2 scenario going on over there. Skip a Bob. Feed me.
You're gonna like.
Is that Mother Brain from Captain N?
It is.
I know.
Like an upcoming episode of The Other Side of Midnight when we do Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Leo.
So,
how about you? Oh, sorry, Rigar, were you done, or were you gonna keep
well,
going?
yeah, I was just gonna say, I gotta get going, but I wanted to congratulate you guys on 250 episodes, and I just finished listening to your Snyder Cut episode. Jesus Christ, that was longer than the actual Snyder Cut.
I blame them.
Mission accomplished.
I'm just kidding. But I did want to just throw in my 2 cents about that because I me, Pat, you and I have talked about this. I didn't like Man of Steel. I didn't like Batman vs Superman. I hated the original Justice League. I fucking loved the Snyder Cut, and it made me like Ezra Miller's Flash, which I did not like at the beginning. When I first saw it. And the damn movie was 4 hours long, and I had to stop it to go do stuff, and I didn't want to. That's how good I liked it. So I thought they kind of brought it home with that one.
I also agree. And as we say on this show, fuck Joss Whedon.
That's right. So congratulations, Ash and Patsy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
On Saturday.
Yes.
Bye, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, but before I forget, watch the Shaolin Hellgate. You're going to want to watch it twice. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to need 2 viewings. All right. Take care, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
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 All right. So now we're down to 6.
I don't know if you guys saw, but we just posted. I guested on Then Is Now with Rigor, and we got to talk to Ron Mars, so the comic book writer. That was pretty fun.
Oh wow.
Ooh. One of the first comic book writers I ever heard of receiving death threats.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit too.
Yeah,
that whole Lobo versus Wolverine thing. Yeah.
Well worth a discussion. And then also again when he made Hal Jordan a bad guy and replaced him with Kyle Rayner, people lost their minds all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was a total comic nerd thing. Continue.
No, totally fine.
I must vent.
Listen, it happened 28 years ago, and I need to talk about it.
This guy's all pissed off about Hal Jordan and Aricia. Yes. Deep cut.
My arm hurts.
Like you got punched by Mike Tyson.
No, because that would hurt. It would be more like if I tried punching Mike Tyson.
So
Well, not right now, not with this hand.
You ever punch anybody? I know you got brothers, right? So you must have punched somebody in the face before, right?
So here's a fun story. When I was doing kung fu, I was in instructor
he does
training.
kung fu.
I had been training for about 6 weeks. I was a white belt initiate, and I was like, I've learned a lot. Let me see what I can do. So I had talked to this guy beforehand. I'm like, I want to go up against
That's what I was thinking.
And this guy had 16 years of martial arts training. He trained with the Gracies out in San Francisco, and also like he was a black belt in multiple disciplines. Like, I just want to see, because like you do martial arts and you're like, oh yeah, I could totally kick somebody's ass. It's like, let me see how I do against someone who's trained. Not well, it turns out. He's like, listen, I'm gonna go at you as hard as you go at me. He's like, I'm not gonna like match your energy. Like, oh, your 100% is my 10%. If you do 100%, I'm doing 100%. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what I can do. And so, I'm on offense first, and we're throwing punch combinations and kick combinations. He's just swatting me away as if I'm a toddler. And then it's his turn. Like the buzzer goes off, and the dude just changed. He's just like, and fucking destroyed me. I had all my padding on, and people like the next day were like, what happened to you? And I was like, oh, I was, sparring. Like, you should have worn some protective gear. This is with the protective gear. I did tag him once, and he said it was a good shot. Like, I faked with a left kick and went with my right, and I kicked him right in the kidney, which was a mistake.
That'll only make him mad.
He ended up like giving me this move. It's called a press back fist, where like someone goes to hit you and you knock their hand down, and while their face is exposed, you backhand them in the face. And that's when I got the bloody nose, and like all the instructors and stuff were worried that like, oh no, he got a bloody nose, he's gonna want to leave, he's this and that. And it's like, no, like I just wanted to see what my skill level was, and I need some improvement. He had training a little later as well, and like the guy who ran the school used him for a demonstration because they were worried that I was going to leave. And he's like, yeah, so he hit me like in the jaw, and like everything flashed white, and I lost like 3 minutes. And like I came back the next day, and they're like, oh, we were worried. I was like, no, like, yeah, he hit me in the face like 40 times, but like he only made me bleed once. Like, I know that it takes 40 kicks in the face.
It's fine.
There's got to be a better way to get a progress report, bud.
Yeah. Hey, how do you think I'm doing? A-okay. No, not as much as I thought I was, apparently. I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally kick somebody's ass. Let's go. And no, it turns out more training is valuable.
You learned a lesson of humility.
Sounds like Mr. Dumpling from the movie Sidekicks. He defeats his enemies by beating their fists with his face.
Oh God, I love that. I haven't seen that movie in years. Jonathan Brandis,
Yeah.
Joe Piscopo.
I haven't seen it in a long time either, but I still love it.
I had his album. I think it was like a New Jersey type thing. I had that on cassette. Yeah.
How many covers of Sinatra songs were on it?
6.
There's only 4 songs on the album.
Those little town blues.
The only other movie with Piscopo that like comes to mind, like that I
Johnny Dangerously?
No.
Dead Heat. Yeah.
With Treat Williams.
Treat friggin' Williams.
My brother got me that movie, and I watched it like for one Christmas, like fucking 12, 15 years ago. I don't know. And I was like, I watched it, and my mom watched it with me. She's like, oh, let's watch that movie your brother got you. So I watched it. I'm like, where the hell did you find this? In the free bin at the car wash? What?
At the car wash.
It's so ridiculous. Oh, hi.
Hi.
No, just sleepy.
What?
So I heard
that was a great story, by the way, Patsy, about you and the martial arts.
Oh yeah, thank you. I heard this great joke the other day. We were watching. You were watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and it was the best. And I know that Brandon will also appreciate this joke, being a hefty gentleman who enjoys pizza.
I do.
So they were doing something called, what was it, Snatch Game?
It wasn't.
They were just ripping on each other.
Are you talking about the roast episode?
The roast episode, yeah. And one of the queens was insulting one of the other ones, and
as one does in a roast.
Yes, and was like, "Oh, you're so fat that when you watch porn, you come when the pizza gets delivered." I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I was like,
I can't.
Is that extra sausage? Ah!
yes, but that's not the reason why I'm excited. Leo.
Yes, sir.
So aside from Baby Yoda, who were some of your favorite characters and favorite fandoms? I don't know if Brandon, you'll appreciate this because I don't know if you can see this behind Leo. But let's give him solo layout.
Uh-oh.
Above his head, do you see what he's got?
Oh yeah, I saw that when it was tiny. The Secret Wars with the first appearance of Black Suit.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Indeed, it's awesome.
Number 10, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Signed Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know that it was tough because
With Webb.
Yeah.
Silly string?
And it disappeared after 30 minutes.
It's signed by Tobey Maguire. Yeah. That's good.
What I'm currently watching, I'm one of the 5 remaining people still watching Walking Dead and enjoying it. This week's episode was amazing. It was all on Negan. It was it's sad that it's coming to an end. Well, partially an end, but
Negan, that's the guy that doesn't eat any animal products.
And he tells everybody.
Yep.
Kurt's gonna kick me.
I just wanted to say, just to back up with Rigor talking about Quantum Leap, I love that as well. But I thought, and I'll get you guys advice on this. At the end, I thought the bartender was God, and he was like in purgatory the whole show.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I figured as well.
Yeah.
But I still think it's a cop out to end it in such a way. I mean, ending it, that's fine. You know, do what you got to do. And I understand that the rug was pulled out from underneath everyone. No, NBC. Yeah, because they was it Don Belisario was the executive producer / creator, and they legitimately were ready. They had pretty much all the unofficial thumbs up to go ahead for the next what was going to be the last season, and then NBC was like, "Gotcha, bitch," and that was it. No more Quantum Leap after that. So instead of a resolution, they had to just put up that final card that just plainly says Dr. Sam Beckett never made it home. And I mean, you have to understand, I just turned 39, so I watched that show as a small kid. My dad worked nights, so I stayed up late to say goodbye to him because I freaked out when I was very little when I'd wake up and he wasn't home. So I saw a lot of Quantum Leap, and it became a show I watched with my mom like every Wednesday night when it was on. I remember the night. I looked forward to it. And I was absolutely crestfallen, completely heartbroken when I saw that final scene for Quantum Leap. It destroyed, like, I think I must have been like 10 or 11 or something at that point. And it was probably one of the very first like eye-opening experiences for me insofar as like what could happen in show business. Like, oh, just because you like a thing doesn't mean you're going to get the end of the thing that you like.
I will say that was my second favorite thing I've ever seen Dean Stockwell in. I think the first is the
boy with green hair.
No, the scene in Blue Velvet where he's doing the duet with Dennis Hopper into the lamp, which is just fucking surreal. And
in a Lynch movie? What?
So I'm sorry, Leo. We interrupted you.
Please. Oh no. I diverted the conversation. I'm loving Star Trek Discovery. Can't wait for the next season. And it's shocking how many times I'll bring it up, and a lot of people don't like that show for some reason.
Well, let me tell you about Michael Burnham. Have you heard about Michael Burnham? By the way, Michael Burnham. So there's other characters, Star Trek. Just get on that.
Well,
That's why people are like that, because it's a great show and they're doing great things with it. Like the effects are amazing. It has Jason Isaac in the first season, who's one of my favorite. Because he was in Event Horizon. So, but yeah, I mean, Discovery's a good show. It's just they focus too much on the crappy character that everyone's like, get out of our face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that she's captain, I know they'll focus even more on her. But it was nice that.
So you got that going for you.
But it was nice. What's that?
Which is nice.
Which is nice. Say that shit. It drives Dara up a wall. I do it constantly.
Still, Star Trek still Lower Decks also is amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Love it.
You mentioned Rick and Morty. Solar Opposites is friggin' phenomenal.
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty funny show. Yeah, I like the little terrarium he has of all the people that have been mean to him. These collected.
Did you watch the latest season?
No,
Yes.
not yet.
And ever since this most recent season, and I know it's like a reference to another show, but I constantly, now more so than ever, have been doing the Ron Howard narrative asides from Arrested Development and just automatically going ding 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 just because of Thomas Middleditch in that fucking show, dude.
I will be completely honest with you. I cannot watch it because I cannot stand Thomas Middleditch. I hate him with the burning intensity of a billion suns. I don't know what it is. There's certain people I cannot stand them. Nick Kroll is another one.
So you're missing out on Big Mouth. Damn.
Cannot stand him. I
love that one.
Jason Sudeikis is another guy who I can't stand
because he punched Baby Yoda.
I used to like.
I get Sudeikis a bit.
Will Arnett a lot until he did Lego Batman, and then that's the only voice he does forever now. That's how he talks all the time. Even that Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, Vernon. Yeah,
Lego Batman.
Hey guys, I got a new car. You're Batman again. You know. It's like, sorry.
Did you catch the sandwich he made in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie?
Parmesan and mustard, and yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, there's certain guys. Who's the other one? The not Nick Offerman, but it's like Nick
Swardson.
Yeah.
I love Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman has a.
I love The Great North. If you
that's a good show. Yeah.
But no, there's just certain guys like Thomas Middleditch brought down my enjoyment of Godzilla King of the Monsters for every scene that he was in, because he's just the same fucking guy every time. Like, oh, look at me, I'm the king of Fruity Land, and I'm the same character I was when I was in the Verizon commercials, because I have one fucking note.
I liked him in Board Heads.
I mean, the character that he voices in Solar Opposites is definitely like a fucking dingbat shithead, so make of that what you will. He's goofy as hell and very stupid. It's hilarious.
Now that's the guy from Silicon Valley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't he just get Me Too'd or something?
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He just got in trouble.
Jesus Christ.
Him and Erlich Bachman. What's it?
TJ Miller. Well, that's been going on for him for since the beginning.
For a while.
Wow, that's. I mean, I don't want to say that's unfortunate, except for the people that clearly had to deal with him, if that were the case. But man, that's.
Yeah, from what I read, he forced a open relationship on his wife.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. That's been like a trend lately, almost. Like a lot of people have been doing that.
Was that the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett thing too?
I didn't watch that stuff, but I thought, from my part, I thought that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, it seemed more like they were separated, and she dated someone.
I think they were taking a break, from what I remember of that specific encounter.
Yes, they were apart. She decided that she wanted to basically groom this young man who wasn't even a man at the time.
No.
What was it? He was a 12-year-old girl?
He was like a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah, no, I'm just busting chops. But
No, it's funny when you. It's funny that you say that. I was watching.
That's a fair reaction, Jess. I get it.
I was watching an interview with on one of the news stations I follow, and Matt Gaetz referred to the woman that he's in trouble with as a 17-year-old woman. It's like, no.
So many people do that. It's so gross.
No, that's not what that is. No.
I don't like that at all.
I don't even like a 19-year-old woman because teenager.
My daughter's 16. Let this guy show up at the door, and I'll show him my, press palm back fist to face.
Very famous teenager who's no longer a teenager now, and guess what? She's already made $1 million.
We talked about this the other day. The fuck's her name? The chick from Jerry Springer.
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Yeah. People are like, "Ooh, she's 18 now. She just turned 18." It's like, yeah, you're 35. You're gross. It's like, but apparently she started an OnlyFans and like
she made $1 million. Yeah, she made $1 million within the first couple hours of her OnlyFans being live,
which is gross. I had heard something about like she had been approached by porn producers like shortly after her interview.
Like some people were just some people were just counting down the seconds. And that
they were trying to get her mother to sign off on her when she was 15 years old,
which is gross.
Is this like anti-fandoms here? Because I don't like any of these things.
So anyway, Leo, I also really like Solar Opposites, and I was really looking forward to that second season and enjoyed it thoroughly.
So yeah, let's get back to Leo. What else do you like?
Let's see. Recently, Close Enough on HBO, another good animated show.
Yes. J.G. Quintel, the creator of Regular Show. That's a great show.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I got back into watching Voltron on Netflix.
You guys watch Final Space at all?
No.
Final Space is excellent.
Constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But that Voltron's good though. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm the nerdiest guy in the room. Okay.
Over there somewhere.
So here's a character that you should cover that I'm sure you never covered.
Jesus.
No. From the 80s TV show Sledgehammer.
Oh my god!
Wow. Yeah.
You know what you should do? You should do Sledgehammer and then do another follow-up to oh my god, what was the creator's name?
Fred Williamson? No, that's the Hammer.
No,
Hunter? No, it's
I can't. No, the guy who did Sledgehammer. He's a really smart guy, but his projects are. What is it?
Peter Gabriel.
Oh my god!
Jump in. Oh.
Well, Danny Elfman did the score. David Rush was Sledgehammer.
Alan Spencer.
Yes. Yep.
He did a series that is very much in the same vein as Sledgehammer, but far less censored because it was on IFC, called Bullet in the Face.
Oh wow!
And it is one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's a Canadian actor named Max Williams who plays the main character, but the villains are played by Eric Roberts and Eddie Izzard, and they are warring mob bosses in like mega city kind of place, like Judge Dredd-esque, and it's just crime everywhere, just left and right. And the whole premise, the conceit is this mastermind villain who works for Eddie Izzard and this do-gooder cop both shoot at each other during a robbery, and the cop catches like a bullet to the neck and dies, and the criminal gets his face ripped open by the bullet. So they take the cop's face and put it on the criminal's body and then make him go undercover to his old gang to try to sell out Eddie Izzard. It's awesome. It's 6 episodes long. It ends on a cliffhanger. There were never any plans to continue the series. It's outstanding.
It's called Face On.
It's like RoboCop meets Face Off. Yeah.
Bullet in the Face.
Bullet in the Face. I'm going to write that down. But same as Sledgehammer, they ended the first season with him blowing up the city with a nuclear bomb, thinking they'll never continue. And then what? They did 2 more seasons?
I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised by what you see in the last episode of that season, Leo.
I'll definitely hunt it down.
Good.
The other thing is Letterkenny. I'm trying to get everybody to watch that show.
Oh,
genius!
How you doing
love
there?
it.
I tried.
You need to get past Fart Book.
Yes, that's the worst episode.
And it's
Fucking hate
episode
it.
3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a show where people stand there and they give 2-line stories.
No.
Well, the thing, I mean, I
Like,
don't want to speak for
don't-
anybody. I don't want to speak for anybody else and why they might like it, but I threw it on as a lark. I was like, all right, I'll just check it out. This is before a lot of people were talking about it. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a trendsetter. It was just like I had Hulu and there was fucking nothing on, so I tossed it on.
And you're
And I
like,
started-
holy shit, there's that guy from the Halo scene in Godzilla.
Yeah, that's what I said.
A squirrely darns, boy.
But I watched it and I was like half paying attention for the first couple minutes, and then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I actually started listening in the rapid fire back and forth between every single character is just one of the most impressive things I've ever seen on a show or movie in my entire life. The cadence that they do it with, and they just don't miss a beat. Every single person is fucking on it in that show. Whether it's something very witty that they're saying or just incredibly stupid, everyone knows exactly how to time what they're saying. It's something to behold. And also, fun fact, the guy who created the show with Jared Kiso and has directed every single episode was one of the original kids on Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon.
Nice.
oh wow.
Jacob Tierney.
I just started that. I fell down.
Keep an eye out for him. He's in the first season. He's got the hair parted down the middle. He's got kind of a doofy thing going on. Looks like a goofy little Irish kid.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great.
That's the co-creator of Letterkenny.
No, I feel you just though. Letterkenny, not funny. I don't get it. It's not for me.
Yeah, like
He likes it. And I gave it a go. I got through most of the first season,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's just not funny.
And you put some
Yeah, it's
unfortunate.
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
I only got
listen.
to 3 episodes, and that was it for me.
Oh, that third episode, man.
I know. I
drives so many
I just
people
heard you
away.
say that, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should go back and look." I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I would recommend anybody watching it for the first time just never watch episode 3. It is the worst.
And it sucks that it's so.
I just keep
high up
waiting
there.
for it to get funny.
You know,
Yeah, that's the way I'm
honestly,
so-
if you don't dig it, that's cool. You know, comedy is it's
Very-
objective, so it depends on what it is that you personally like. You know, not everything is for everyone, but I mean, anybody that gives you shit about not liking it, they can get fucked with a rusty chainsaw.
Well, it's also one of the shows that you really grow to like the characters. You know, there's really
Yeah.
no character that's really truly unlikable on the show.
The
Well, yeah.
bartender, she's kind of creepy.
I'm pretty sure I don't like Marie Fred. She can go fuck herself. My wife and I were bullshit when we saw that happen.
Yeah.
Dara and I, we both love that show, and when we saw what went down, we were like, "What?"
What's
I
going
hope
on
somebody. We were like, "Where's his sister? She needs to go fuck her up right now."
The way
I
people
forgot about her. Yep.
Letterkenny, the way they describe it, the way that they love it, and the characters, it's similar to the Schitt's Creek fandom.
Wait. Hold on. Are you about to say you don't like Schitt's Creek?
No, I
No.
love Schitt's Creek.
Oh, okay.
I
Don't you listen to this show?
yeah.
No, well, that's why I was very confused. I was like, I thought we were on the same page on that one.
Well, no. But what I'm saying though is, the way that fans talk about Letterkenny, that the humor isn't for everyone, and you really grow to love the characters. And I feel that way about Schitt's Creek. When describing it to other people, who are like, it's not laugh out loud funny. It's not everyone's cup of tea when it comes to humor. It's very on brand with Eugene Levy and Christopher Guest, that type of comedy. But when people describe Letterkenny, it reminds me of people talking about Schitt's Creek, because it's just, I think they kind of come from a similar place.
Well, they are both very Canadian sitcoms.
Well, I mean, there's
for
that
sure.
too. But it's a subtle brand of humor that doesn't necessarily catch on here in the U.S.
Well, you know, I love Schitt's Creek. It's one of my top 5 shows of all time. And I think one of the reasons why it works so well is because as a sitcom, it actually starts off in the place where most sitcoms end and goes backwards. Most sitcoms start with characters, and over time, they devolve into caricatures. With Schitt's Creek, they started off as caricatures, and they built their character over time, so you actually cared about them as people by the time the show ended.
See,
And that makes all the difference.
Patsy has tried watching a couple of episodes. He doesn't like it. And I'm trying to get him to stick with it, at least get through the first season.
Just watch the first 47 episodes. I swear it gets better.
But you really start to care about these characters, and these characters, the character evolution of the Rose family alone is so what our show is about.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I mean, this would make for a killer podcast discussion.
I do enjoy. I've seen some clips, and it's like there's some stuff that's pretty funny, but there's some other stuff that is just like.
Pat, how far have you made it into the show? I'm just curious.
He has 2 episodes.
Okay, let me.
He barely watched 2 episodes.
Okay, let me.
Is into something already deciding that he's not going to like it.
Not true.
Listen, Pat, you are not supposed to like them at all when you start watching the show. So, I mean,
she's rewatched it a bunch of times, and I've caught, different things, different parts of different episodes. So I've seen, a fair cross section. I mean, I couldn't tell you what episode was what, and when it takes place chronologically, but some of the stuff is pretty good.
He interrupted me yesterday, or I should say the other day, during the David Rose giving Patrick the Tina Turner lap dance. And I'm like, this is one of my favorite parts. And I'm like, and you're not going to get it. It's going to look stupid to you.
Well, especially because it goes hand in hand with another scene.
Right. From, I think it's the previous episode.
Well, say that again. It was what?
I think it's the previous episode.
Oh, really? Wow. Is that
episode? Or I don't know if it's the previous episode or like it's a couple of episodes in, like before that.
But it relates to a very, very sweet and beautiful moment that occurs earlier in the series.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to. Like he's like coming in and he's like talking and shit, and I'm like, no, you need to stop talking. And I'm so sorry I bumped your arm. Why couldn't you come again to the other arm?
Because this is my non-dominant arm. This is for my puppet arm.
Oh, my feelings.
Is your arm hurt because you got the shot?
I did get the shot.
So
today.
Why didn't you?
Oh, congrats!
Why am I not sitting there, and why are you?
I take mine in the ass.
No, the vaccine, Justin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were quoting lines from Naked Gun 33 and a third.
Nothing to see here.
Ow.
Why are you like this?
Why am I? Because I got vaccinated today.
Now, for Schitt's Creek, is anybody here familiar with SCTV?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know how many people from SCTV or people who are related to people from SCTV were involved in Schitt's Creek?
Yep, a lot.
Yeah, I actually was surprised to find out that Martin Short's brother was one of the writers for most of the episodes of the series.
Yeah, Ted Long. It's different parents.
Completely different.
I think it might be Michael. It might be Michael Short, but yeah, his brother wrote
Mike.
It's short for Michael. And but I think a lot of what he did, he worked with Eugene Levy doing a lot of the writing for that. It's incredibly cool. Robin Duke was the one that played the owner of the shop that David started working at.
Yes.
Which, like, if nobody knows SCTV at all, you'd recognize her as maybe the waitress that the skinny waitress in Groundhog Day that takes care of Phil in the restaurant. The one thing she wants to do is go to France. Oh God, do I? That's Robin Duke, which of course was directed by Harold Ramis, who was involved with SCTV. But yeah, it's really cool to see how they got all these people, and it just became like a passion project of these folks who have known each other for 40-something years. And it was just like, oh yeah, Gene's doing something with his kid. Let's all let's all be part of that and do what we can to write for it and perform and whatnot. Like, I just think that's part of the appeal of the show altogether.
Yeah.
And like so it's Dan Levy's brainchild, and the whole fact that his dad plays his dad, his sister's involved with it. It's this whole like family affair. I mean, Catherine O'Hara is pretty much his stepmom in real life. Like it's just this whole family vibe, and it just really lends itself well to what the show is and what it's about.
I didn't even put together like 2 and 2 until like 6 months ago that they were even related.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Like, wait a minute. Caterpillar eyebrows. Caterpillar eyebrows.
Well, I was going to say the eyebrows alone, dead giveaway, but yeah.
Especially if you see Dan Levy wear glasses. It's uncanny.
It's quite uncanny, really.
And I love Eugene. Like, Eugene Levy is hysterically genius. But
I think for me, like, Eugene Levy, hilarious, always has been, just a funny, quirky dude. But I think he threw a lot of people for a loop in Christopher Guest's The Mighty Wind.
Oh my God!
Who the hell knew that dude had the voice of a fucking angel? I didn't.
I'm currently rewatching a bunch of Christopher Guest films, and of course, it's a lot of the same cast. It's Christopher Guest and Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara and Michael McKean and Parker Posey, who we spoke about already. Yeah, it's.
I believe he's also a lord too, isn't he? Lord Christopher Guest,
Mr. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes.
Yep, and he and his brother, actually, the one who played Todd in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. That's Christopher Guest's little brother.
Oh, wow, he's not likable.
No, he's not, because the only other thing I've ever seen him in, he was one of the dickheads that told Dan Aykroyd's character to get the fuck out from the club and Trading Places as well.
What a jerk.
I think I speak for all the members of the club, or we don't want your drug money, Louis.
Yep.
Leo, what else you got? Hopefully something that, doesn't derail the conversation. What do you think this is? Some show where we just like go off on random tangents?
You're just dropping conversation bombs going, dance, puppets, dance!
Talk about Invincible.
Yeah, there we go. Invincible. Oh my gosh.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
It's the sequel to Vincible.
I was talking about this the other night when we were recording, and I was telling one of my co-hosts, I'm like, oh yeah, Invincible, you got to watch. And he goes, that movie with Mark Wahlberg where he's an old guy that becomes a football player for the Eagles? And I'm like,
No.
Yes, but he gets superpowers.
Kind of the same, but he's a teenager, and it's animated, and Mark Wahlberg isn't in it.
And no one says hi to your mother for me.
It is crazy how gruesome that show is.
Yes, it's
But
out
also the fact that they are following the comic very well, and I'm not going to say much else.
Very early,
I'm not
too.
yeah.
But it's still a slow burn
It
because
is.
the reveal comes much earlier in the comic, and they are taking their time with it. I'm really digging that. I was concerned with Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg being producers on this because I like the boys, but I mean I love the comic, and as much as I enjoy the show, like it's still kind of like deep down the geek in me is just like I just wish it was a little bit more like the comic story. And Preacher was one of my all-time favorite comic books from Vertigo. It still is. I mean, it doesn't quite hold up the way you'd like it to, but it's still a solid story.
Yep.
And I fucking hate that show.
Yeah, they ruined it for me. I was so excited for years when I heard that they were going to be working on a TV show, and Seth Rogen kept going off on how he's such a big fan and he's going to be so good to it. And no fan would have done what he did to that show.
No,
That
it was fucking brutal.
I'm sorry, but I do love Invincible. I do.
Invincible
I was so happy.
So far, it is incredible, and like I am just
Wait, is it Incredible or Invincible?
Yes.
Both.
It's so good. Inconceivable.
Leo, you got anything else?
The last thing I have is I'm trying to remember the name of the show.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, yeah, there's so many shows that all of us just watch.
In the middle with
HBO show. Bruce Lee's daughter wrote it.
Oh, it's new.
Yeah, it's not war. It's like season 3's out.
Oh no, I'm thinking something different.
Or season.
Jeez, I would have gone with the Mandalorian, but
is it Warrior or
I don't know. I don't have a lot of shows that I watch on HBO.
Yeah, Warrior. Warrior. That's it.
What's his daughter's name? Was Brenda his wife?
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
oh yeah, I saw this.
She took Bruce Lee's original writings for Kung Fu, his original story for Kung Fu, and developed it into a new show.
Ooh.
What's the name of it?
Warrior. On HBO.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bruce Lee, do you guys know who Bruce Lee's first filmed fight was with?
Chuck Norris?
No, that's a good guess though.
What's his name? The basketball player there?
Kareem?
No,
Kareem
not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was
John Saxon.
Bolo Young.
Chuck Norris. No, wait, we got that.
It was actually Burt Ward. His first film.
Because he played Kato and they had a crossover with the Green Hornet. Which I loved as a kid. I loved that crossover. It was fucking great.
They actually trained together too. Like they would spar together in real life. They lived in the same complex.
Yeah, I was just going to say how much Burt Ward, his fighting style in that show, always reminded me of Bruce Lee.
Exactly. Well, different styles, So.
Holy small world, Batman.
Yeah.
I still think the most ridiculous thing I can remember, and I remember this because it was the end of an episode, is Robin was being he was forced to stand on a giant skillet, and he was kind of like hopping from foot to foot because it was cooking, and you knew it was cooking because there was giant sausage and a giant fried egg being cooked in the skillet. Like, how's Robin going to get out of this? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he could just step out of it onto not the skillet.
Yeah, but then he'd be out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Into the fire.
Oh.
I'm still afraid of that giant skillet.
There was a month there, and he would have been out of the frying pan and into the fryer.
It's like Prince Derek, right? I'm still afraid of that giant skillet. From Disenchantment.
So, Colleen the Conqueror, going alphabetical order. You're after Leo. So what about some of your fandoms? I know, there are a few that you're very passionate about, like Spider-Man and
you can see all of them. Like right here. I've got Val Kilmer from Willow over here, which my youngest daughter is actually named Laura from. I've got where is it? Over here. We've got Lord of the Rings, and I named my oldest daughter Laurelyn after one of the 2 trees of Valinor. So
I have another Lord of the Rings question that you just reminded me.
Oh, okay.
I would say, and I saw this the other day, and I totally agree with it, that wait, we got another person here. We got Mr. JD. What's up, buddy? You are
hello.
You are just in time for the Lord of the Rings question we're about to ask.
Oh shit.
That's a spirit.
Would you agree that the greatest tragedy in all of the Lord of the Rings saga is the fact that Sam and Frodo never got to eat the stew that Sam made out of the rabbits?
The Coney stew.
Oh.
Because right when he made it, it looked so good, and he wanted some nice fresh taters, and he had to explain what they were, and that's when Faramir and his buddies showed up, and they never got to eat that delicious stew.
And I think he even used his salt for it, didn't he? The salt that he almost died, bringing all the way from the Shire for. But yeah, no, that was pretty sad. But I wouldn't say saddest, but yeah.
That's worse than anything else. That's sadder than Artax in the swamp of despair or whatever the hell it is.
That made me angry though. I was so mad at that stupid horse. I'm like, good job dying because you're sad. Even as a kid.
I hope you never meet a person with depression.
Yeah.
Good job dying because you're sad.
Nice job, stupid. Why don't you try cheering up next time, fucking idiot?
Uh,
Have you just tried not being depressed?
so, JD, I don't know if you know most of these folks. I know you are familiar with Justin. But
I am, yes.
Leo is runs the network that we're on, the Dorkening.
Oh, yes.
Colleen is
just Empress of all the nerddoms. That's it.
Fair deal.
Powerful Brandon is a professional me cosplayer.
Really
No,
milking
I'm
that one.
I'm not stressing enough. No one pays me to do that. It's for fun.
It's
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you do it for free then.
Yeah.
It's the love of the game.
It's a passion.
Passion. And Jess is a horror model and actress.
Very cool. It's nice to meet everybody. I have literally, other than Justin, never met anybody here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
And you do some amazing guitar stuff on YouTube.
I attempt to. Thank you.
So you just,
Like, he plays them?
yeah,
Okay, good. Just making sure.
he races them professionally.
He owns a guitar farm.
Oh, that's one spot live.
Can that be a forest?
You just see you being like, like if a guy who made guitars was like a fable from like the guy who did Stone Soup, it's like, oh yeah, the guitar tree is about ready. It's like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, oh well, I'm gonna take care of this. Oh, if only I had a wood planer. Well, I've got a wood planer.
No, you'll smother the strings. It's my John Hurt. Yes.
Don't forget to oil the nut. Oh, wait. Are we still talking about guitars?
We could be.
Maybe.
Yeah, and JD also did for quite some time a sex positive podcast. It was very sexy, very positive.
Positive.
Yes. So we are just about to hear Colleen's favorite fandoms and characters, and then since you just got here, we'll have you go next because we're very excited to have you. We really appreciate you jumping in. So, Colleen.
Yep. So we have the Willow Sword and Sorcery, fun stuff. All those movies from the 80s were epic and like my favorites. Like you had Master of the Universe. I know that's super campy stuff, but that's also like a super favorite, whether it's, horror or the bad, awesome sci-fi movies. All of that's fantastic.
One of the first post-credit scenes I've ever seen. Before you go any further, unfortunately, Jess has to leave. Oh. So, Jess, thank you for coming in and for brightening our day with your presence. We really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure. I love getting to sit and have the little round table chat.
It's always fun. I feel like every time I'm on, you're on too. So
I know it's like 3 times in a row we've been on at the same time. This is great.
Yeah,
nice.
We did Justice League. Now we got this.
Wait, you guys get invited more than once?
No, this is our first time.
Yay!
But before I hop off of here, I am going to plug the Hydra really quick because there is a photo shoot next week. So,
ooh.
And I expect to see some awesome stuff and lots of blood.
I've got plenty. So.
Like if you need fake blood, Jess is one of 2 people I know that I can safely recommend to people.
Yes.
What if you need real blood?
Jess.
I could find
Nice.
I'm a universal donor, so you can
blood?
just, like,
Who's blood? Wow. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us, Jess. I appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
And before you hop off, where do you like people following you?
You can find me on Facebook, Jess Snyder Model. or you can find me on Instagram, Hot Wheels _modeling official.
Oh, it's Hot Wheels with 2 T's and a Z.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your day. We appreciate it.
It's always fun. I like spending time with you guys.
Same.
Well,
So-
you have yourself a delightful evening and enjoy your tomorrow.
Yes, you guys have that.
Enjoy your tomorrow.
Stellar sign off there.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Jess.
Well, it's kind of a take on the Walter Cronkite have a
great evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Yeah,
or
see,
whatever
they,
it was.
you do it in like the sexy baritone.
I like the Joe Pesci. Everybody go fuck yourself.
All right, so sorry we interrupted you, Colleen.
No, it's fine.
Please continue.
So I think we also have Mel Brooks stuff. All of his films are fantastic. I think that Spaceballs is probably my favorite. But yeah, no,
That's
he's
fair.
I'm a big producers guy. Like he started out, the one he's not in, it's so good.
You're
I
talking,
got
about,
that.
you're talking about the original with
The
Gene Wilder and
original
Zero
with
Mostel.
Zero Mostel, absolutely. You know,
I was just telling Dara that I'm gonna make her watch it. She's never seen it before. Anybody who's not familiar, like Pat Nash's and Justin for sure. Maybe you, Colleen, you might have seen some of his. My wife has never seen a fucking movie. That's pretty much what the internet has discovered at this
they're
point.
always introducing them to new stuff.
It's always like, hey everyone, I'm watching this movie. It's a rewatch for me, and Dara's never seen it before, and everyone's like, really, the Care Bears movie? I'm like, I don't know what kind of childhood she led.
I mean, to be fair, like there are some things like that she
good Weird Al reference.
she's got me to watch, like the Care Bears movie is one. The Last Unicorn.
Oh yes, Peter Beagle.
I've never seen that. But speaking of the producers, I did an episode about that for Shark Bites, and I had never seen the producers prior to doing that episode. We did Blazing Saddles. We did the producers.
Robin Hood Men in Tights, I think.
We did Men in Tights.
Oh.
So there's still Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Oh, we did
Frankenstein.
We did History of the World Part 1 as well. But
Brainy Smurf was in Young Frankenstein at the very beginning, and I always remember I'm like, that's Brainy Smurf.
Brainy Smurf at the beginning of Young Frankenstein?
So when he's doing the cadaver and all that, the guy that he's trying to make sick, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Papa Smurf always says.
Papa Smurf. Daddy Smurf's picking on me again. Brainy.
Go ahead, Colleen.
Yeah, so
sword and sorcery type folk.
So many things. So anything, literary, like novels. I love fantasy, sci-fi, horror, mystery, like Stephen King. I collect first editions.
So do I. I'm right there with you.
Yep. It's awesome. I hit a whole treasure trove for $30 the other day. I was so excited.
Best.
Mm-hmm. First edition Howling. I was like, okay, I'll take that. Thank you. Like, my wife's making me get rid of my stuff. I was like, I will gladly.
Sucks to be you. Here's a 20 and a 10. Deuces.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. But yeah, so all kinds of random stuff, anime, manga, Korean dramas. I love Korean movies in general, like Korean horror is great.
Busan.
Yeah, so good.
Old Boy's fun.
Yeah, fun. There's the incest again.
I Saw the Devil was crazy.
Oh, I Saw the Devil is one of the greatest fucking movies I think.
It was. that one it's fun, but it's a hard rewatch for me.
That movie was pitched to me as imagine Hannibal Lecter kidnapped and killed James Bond's girlfriend.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, no, I had no one recommended it to me. I went in totally blind and it was great. So I always recommend that one to anyone. I keep telling you to watch Kingdom though on Netflix, the zombie TV show, which is really good. But that's period drama stuff too. but also a really good take on zombies, which is something that I love in general. So it's kind of fun to see someone actually do something new and twisty with it. But yeah, cartoons and everything. So
Were you a fan of Lady Hawk back in the day? Lady Hawk with Matthew
yes.
Broderick, Rutger Hauer, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer?
I love that movie. My dad loved that movie. He watched it all the time.
Actually, that's how I got into a lot of the things I did. Is my dad used to watch like the craziest things when I was little, like. You know, the TV show Westworld, I actually knew the old movie because he would have me watch it with him. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I know this one.
I feel like that needs to be a fandom all of its own. Like shit my dad used to watch.
Yeah.
It really did. Yeah. It's like he's the one that got me into kaiju films. Like, so that was fun. But yeah, that's like the Star Wars trilogy was like our Christmas tradition. That's what we would watch. We would watch like the whole trilogy. Like, would be our thing. So Terminator, like I watched The Shining like from behind his chair when I was like 5 or something. So, but yeah, no, it was always fun. Aliens, I think he couldn't wait to watch Aliens with me. I was so young. Jaws, I was 5 and I was terrified that there would be a shark in my swimming pool or like the shadowy part of the tub. So, but still love those films.
We did get a message just now from our good buddy First Time Mike. Says happy episode 250 Ashes and Patsy. You know, First Time Mike was going to send all sorts of love your way, and hello to everyone on the screen tonight. And we did.
Thank you, First Time Mike. Sweet. He's like one of the sweetest people.
He's one of the best dudes. Yeah. And Ian jumped in. He said, "I'm so sorry I couldn't video conference with you guys. Just wanted to say you were awesome and happy 250th episode. Here's to 250 more." And there's a little wine emoji because he was on momentarily and bounced off because we were in the middle of discussing things. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you to Ian from Amalgamania.
Yes. Not Amalgamania. Because I can't read apparently. So JD, you have a different perspective from most of us because 4 of us here are Ashes and myself, Brandon, Colleen, are all within an hour drive of each other. Leo is in Connecticut. Justin lives in the land that time forgot. But you are our only friend who is north of the border. Oh, we do have one more person jumping in. We have Miss Emily Sweet.
Hi, guys. I'm so sorry. I thought it was... I didn't realize it was East Coast time. I'm so sorry. And sorry to interrupt. Hi, everyone.
Oh, welcome.
Emily, I'd like you to meet JD, Colleen, Leo, who runs our network, Justin, Powerful Brandon, and Ashes and myself.
Yes. Hi.
If you guys are unfamiliar with Emily, she was just in the remake of Castle Freak.
Oh my goodness, they remade that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you. A really good film called Fear Farm that we covered on the show a while back that I really
Wow, Castle Freak. Whew.
And you were just in a publication, were you not?
Yes, I was. A French horror magazine did a little thing about Castle Freak, so yeah.
Very cool.
Thank
so
you.
We're going around the room, and it is JD's turn, and we are talking about our favorite fandoms and our favorite characters. So JD was just about to start, and you will be next.
Okay.
Oh wow. I'm unfortunately one of those people where fandom died out when I was a teenager. So everything I have is from that reference point in my life. So I'm a huge fan of The Crow. I'm a huge fan of there was a niche comic publisher called Slave Labor Graphics. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with them. They did Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. They
my god!
Squee.
Yes.
They did Squee.
Yep.
They did Filler Bunny. They did and tangentially they did Lenore.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
My wife's into that. Yeah.
Those are probably my biggest things outside of well, music and the aforementioned adult industry stuff that I used to do. Because everything else has just been me, unfortunately, having to grow up way too fast due to poor life choices.
That is unfortunate.
I mean, I met Patsy and Justin through our love of pro wrestling, and that has, although it has waned, it still exists.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of things I enjoy, it's literally like horror movies, music, and being an idiot on the internet. Because I really don't. I do so much now that I don't have time for much else. But yeah, like the slave labor stuff, fantastic. I'll reread that. My wife actually has a tattoo of Lenore right over here, so we're both very huge fans.
That's definitely a quote that, taken out of context, could be a problem.
With what? Sorry,
a huge fan.
Well, it's funny. The guy who created Johnny the Homicidal Maniac was actually at Fan Expo, which is like San Diego Comic-Con but Canada's version, so cheap and smaller. And he is not a very personable guy. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't really do fan interaction very well. And so the guy in line waiting in front of me was like trying to he was egging him on a little bit too much, like maybe a little bit more of a crazed fan than perhaps he should have been. And he goes, well, why do you do this? Like, who inspired you? Without blinking, Yonan Vasquez points to me and goes, that guy. And I'm like, yep, I'm here to say hello to my good friend. And the guy thought I was serious. And I'm like, I'm happy to help, man. Thank you. Can you sign my shit?
And see, that's the sign of a dedicated fan. He puts you on the spot. You're able to think quickly. I'd expect nothing less.
Oh yeah. Well, see, because I love horror movies as well, I've gone to these conventions a lot. Like sitting down with Alex, who designed the Saw costumes, was fantastic. She actually gave me a video interview that I lost, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd put it on my YouTube channel. But I also got to meet Angela Bettis, who is May, and she's in Lucky McKee, or well, she's what was Lucky McKee's version of Boy or something? The Woman. Thank you. Yes. No, that's recent. Lucky McKee did a one much prior to that. Yeah. So Angela didn't really have too many people, so she was very keen to sit down and chat and discuss everything going on. And this is my favorite story ever. She stops me out of the blue, like we're sitting there talking movies, whatever. Hang on a sec. Do you guys have any acid? I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry, no, I don't. And then she went right back onto it. She's like, oh, well. And we just kept talking about May again.
That's amazing.
I did all my acid in grade 8. That's a deep cut, too. So if you get that.
Do you have any acid? No, I can find you some. Like, what's your brand?
Hydrochloric? Yes.
I don't know enough about acid to know. Like, I don't.
If used right, it's a fun time. I did enough in the last 2 years of high school to kill a fucking pony.
Well, I was a bouncer at a goth bar. I've seen literally everything.
Thanks for the acid.
You would.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
I also used to promote burlesque and freak shows. I love that side. I love carny shit. If we're talking about films, I love carny stuff.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen Hell's a Poppin'.
Hell's a
Yes.
No,
yes. You've seen Hell's a Wait, hold on. Wait, were you talking about the old movie?
We're talking about the movie. We're talking about the pageant of the trans mundane.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just went like full on old movie geek when you said Hell's a Poppin'. Sorry.
But they play the song from that movie to introduce themselves.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the Jim Rose
cool.
Circus open up for Godsmack, and that was one of those.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know now. They're throwing darts in his back, and
oh yeah.
These guys opened up for Avatar.
Oh,
and there was a guy who put a hay bale hook through his nose, and then hung a bowling ball from his eye.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Jerry.
He swung it around, Emily.
Yeah.
He threw it around. I got pictures and video.
I paid a guy. I actually had to go find ladders and 2x4s for one of the shows because this guy wanted to break the 2x4. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't really seem too, out there. He goes, no, I break it with my junk. And literally this guy goes spread eagle off the top of a ladder and lands right on a 2x4.
Oh my God.
No.
That's awesome.
What happened? It went.
Find out that you can do that.
Not on purpose. Hi, Amy.
To be fair, I'm not sure.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Amy.
Hi, everyone.
So
Made it.
I will introduce you around as well. Obviously, you know Emily, but we have JD. We have Colleen. I don't know what that is.
That's somebody on the phone.
Somebody just get a wrong answer on a game show?
Colleen the Conqueror.
Wrong. That is not the correct person, Pat. Try
No
again.
whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
We have,
Survey says.
Sorry, that's my love ends. I'm sorry.
we have Leo, we have Justin, and we have Powerful Brandon. Guys, Amy was also in Fear Farm and in one of my favorite movies, Megalodon.
Love Megalodon.
She played.
Yay.
She got to fight Carolyn.
Yes. It's awesome.
All right, so JD, looks like you have to
Here's
get
everyone.
going.
I do have to depart. I just wanted to say congratulations and happy 250.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Pleasure to meet you.
It was nice to meet
Very
you,
nice
JD.
to meet you. Very nice to meet you guys. You all have a wonderful
Check out his
evening.
YouTube
You
channel.
too. Thank you.
Bye.
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 So, Amy, we've been going around and we've been discussing our favorite fandoms and our favorite characters. Getting sidetracked quite a bit, but it's been fun getting sidetracked, so it's been okay.
Nice. That's awesome.
And we're actually up to Emily's turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, Emily, what are some of your favorite fandoms and some of your favorite characters that you want to tell us about?
I might have actually talked about this when I was on your show previously, but I love and cannot get enough of Reanimator. And even like
Stuart Gordon.
Night of Reanimator and Beyond like all of them I love. And I have an obsession with, not an obsession, she's probably gonna listen to this and be like, oh my gosh, but Barbara Crampton, I love her. I adore her. She can do no wrong. She's amazing. And yeah, I mean, I just love that she still is working and she just came out. Did anyone see Jacob's Wife yet?
No.
Not yet. No.
Just came out, but like, man, she's still crushing it. I love it. I love her.
She's producing now. I think she got into. I just listened to her on a podcast called The Flophouse, where she was talking about that, and they're huge fans of Stuart Gordon films. So when they had Barbara Crampton, I'm like, oh my god, they got Barbara Crampton. I guess she had retired for a while, and then she comes back, and she used everything, and now she's trying to help push younger actresses into producing. And I'm like, that's really commendable.
That's
I know.
wonderful.
I think did she come back with Your Next, maybe? I think that was like when she decided to act again with Your Next. And I love Your Next. I don't know if you guys
No,
saw
that was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Did she play the mom in that?
Yes.
Then yes, that was the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I gotta say, I do love it. Like I said, Reanimator, love, and I love them together. Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton together. I love them. But recently she's been doing a lot of movies with what's his name, Larry Feldman. No, Larry. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's like the new. So yeah, that's mine.
See, I like that. I like Reanimator. I actually had a short zombie story I wrote years ago, and there was a guy who had a weapon made of bone that he referred to as his de-animator.
I like it.
One of the most horrifying experiences of my young life, and this was before I was 9 years old and saw Stephen King's It in 1990, was not that it was Reanimator, but it was Stuart Gordon. It was From Beyond. And I was way too young to see any of that movie. None of it should have been viewed.
Yeah, the thing
6-year-old. And that's the thing. Like, for the longest time, I had the most fucked up memories of that movie, and I've only seen it a total of twice in my life. And the second time was in high school. I was stoned out of my mind, so I don't really remember a lot of it. But recently, like the past few years, it turns out I have sleep apnea. So I needed a CPAP. That's what I need to sleep now. I'm basically a cyborg, guys. And when I put the thing on for the first time, it's like it's a nose pillow that you have, but then it straps to the back, and then it's got a fucking tube that comes right up off the top of your head. And the second I put it on, I was like, yo, is this gonna suck up my fucking pineal gland? The first week that I had that thing, I had a nightmare every single night about that fucking movie.
It's a great movie.
I mean, it certainly did the trick. It scared the shit out of me.
I mean, that worked. Oh,
Yeah.
who's your friend, Emily?
Oh, this is Bandito.
Oh my
Bandito.
Yeah, she'll get bored and run away, but now she wants to see what the commotion is about.
You had a visitor a moment ago too.
Who?
You did. Didn't you have a visitor out of the off to your left a few minutes ago? I thought I saw like a cat or something.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. That's my Torty Maxine. She loves to be around phones whenever I'm talking to people. She's like, I hear noises. What's happening? She was rubbing actually her face on my phone. She poked in and then she poked out. She's hanging out on a chair near me now, just being a goof.
Well, it looks like Leo. Before we get into Amy's fandoms, we're gonna let Leo go because Leo has a long week of just producing so many podcasts, and we want him to get some rest.
Yeah.
So Leo, before you leave, why don't you tell folks where they can find you?
Just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run a thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. Over 30 shows on a network. A lot of awesome people doing some awesome stuff. And Patsy and I do a show with Philip from Dark Discussions every Monday called Creator Spotlight. And then Tuesdays, we do Splash Pages, the comic book show. Wednesdays, I'm doing Still Token with the Token Dead guys. And then the Dorkening shortly after. And I'm not doing enough, so I need to find something else to keep me busy.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why we had you on here for the last 2 hours.
Because,
we had far too much free time. But I will say, Amy and Emily, once you guys have more projects coming out, you are welcome on Creator Spotlight, so we can promote you some more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you. You're the best.
I want to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you have your.
Wrong answer.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
It was the group chat. It was the group chat, and I don't know how to turn it off. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, I feel bad because I know we were doing those ocean puns earlier, and that must have been buzzing like crazy. And you're trying to.
Amy, Paulina was in that group chat earlier, and we just had all those ocean puns, and it just see like Paulina has left the group.
No way.
Doesn't she do stand up too?
Yeah, and she's supposed to be. She's filming in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
So down my neck of the woods.
Or anything, or
just tell her to get some Portillos while she's here.
Well, I want to wish you guys, the best, awesome, happy 250, and here's for another 250 and another 250 after that.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Amy, since we're going alphabetical order, you're obviously A is last. First, thank you for joining, you and Emily. I know you guys are on the West Coast, so
Yes, and totally messed up the time.
That is fine.
It's okay.
I'm still here.
You posted something on Facebook because I was like, oh, I thought that wasn't starting for like an hour. And then I was like, oh, Massachusetts. It's like, oh no, I texted Emily. I was like, ah.
Even those of us in Massachusetts say, Massachusetts. Oh, we
You
get
must
it.
drive there.
It's like the meme posted, or you sent to me the other day. It's like like, hey, can we get all the potholes in the roads fixed? And it's like the Pawn Stars guys, like, yeah, best I can do is change the exit numbers. We just drove out to the Cape, and this exit has been exit 12
for
my
ever.
life, my entire life.
Forever.
So for decades, it has been exit 12. We're driving out there, and it's like, oh, exit 72, formerly exit 7. It's like, what?
Yep, they changed my home one, and I had no idea. So I was driving north on 24. It was apparently the day they changed everything, and so it was normal on my side. So I went to Costco with my kids, and I went south to go home, and it was exit 33, 32, 30, and then from 32 it changes to like 28 or something for the next exit, which is
12 turned into 89.
And I was like, where am I? What's going on?
Driving
For those of us,
And then
for those of us who
and I checked my GPS to make sure I didn't get onto some random place, and it's just everything was totally renamed.
did your GPS update to the correct exit?
No.
Oh, it doesn't.
Exit 18, 17, and it's 33 and 32.
Real quick, for anybody not from Massachusetts, they recently changed all the exit numbers off the highway. It used to be very specific exit numbers, and now they've changed them to the mile that it falls on the highway. So, like where I live in the city of Champions, Brockton, Massachusetts, you would be able to get close to where I live in the past by taking exit 18A. Now it's exit 33, which is fucking confusing and not even close to the original number. So I was using a GPS because I just forgot to shut it off from driving home. And usually I get to a certain point where I shut it off. But I started noticing, oh, wait, they changed these exit numbers completely. And I was like, no big deal. I'll know it when I see it. I drove by my fucking home exit with the GPS on, a place that I've gone by hundreds of times. And my wife was right next to me, and she was like, why? And I was like, because you married the smartest man on the face of the planet.
Is the rest of this story that you didn't use your turn signal?
No. Exact opposite. I've had it on since 1993.
Okay, all right. I'm from Connecticut, so they're all the devil driving. Massachusetts drivers, we call them massholes. So.
Yeah.
Well, we refer to ourselves as
Nice.
assholes too.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
It's true when we're like, freaking Massachusetts driver, what the heck?
See, it's funny. I don't have like a
Going to
cute
cry
name.
almost.
I don't have a cute name. I just say, go back to Connecticut.
You're right. And then we hang our head in shame and
We're
think
not
about
quite
taxes.
New York. We're not quite Massachusetts. We're
But at least we're not Rhode Island.
Well, we come with a slice of cantaloupe. Yeah.
So, Amy,
Yeah.
what are some of your favorite fandoms and some of your favorite characters, like the stuff that you just can't get enough of?
Oh man, on the spot questions. Okay, so let me think. Well, recently, I mean, especially over the past year, I've done a lot of watching of a lot of things, and I would say recently because I was behind because WandaVision came out on Disney. And I didn't understand all the characters because I've seen like movies here and there. So I sat down with my husband, we started watching all the movies, back to back in order, and the stuff I missed and everything. So that was awesome. I was like, oh, I understand now why this, and put all the pieces together. So definitely that's been a recent one that I've been kind of obsessed with. And now Winter Soldier is out with Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney. Yay. So enjoying that fully. As far as other things that I follow, I don't think I'm very much a one-off horror person, as Emily knows. I'll give a movie a shot. I mean, some of them are just, Halloween and things like that, Friday 13th, anything like that. I'll watch them and I'll enjoy them always. But then there was one that Emily actually made me watch recently. Emily, would you like to say the name of that movie?
Yeah, and I love this movie, and Amy was traumatized. Sleepaway Camp. Who doesn't like Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, Felissa is the nicest lady
She
ever.
is so sweet.
She did a drawing for us at a convention a couple years ago. She pulled our winning name, and it was Brandon.
Yep. There's video of her going, Brandon Powers! And I was across the hall. I was like, I think I just won something. And I think Felissa Rose just said my name. I'll be back.
And he came like charging down the hallway. It was
Like,
the funniest.
anyone move, there's a fat guy running and sweating.
She's so nice. And she does that face in some of her pictures.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
in photo ops, she'll wear like a sleepaway camp shirt, and
With
she'll
the
have
red
this
shorts.
cute little, she'll wear red shorts, and she'll have this cute little backpack.
I was going to ask about the pants. Yeah.
She'll pose with a curling iron. Like it's fantastic. Like she embraces it, and she does the face. Like she embraces this character 100%. It's fantastic.
You should. Yeah.
That is one of the biggest like reveals.
Yeah, it wasn't that big.
It was cold.
Real.
It was cold out.
Shut
It
up.
was cold. They're right on the lake.
Oh, shrink is
She had
happening.
just gone swimming.
Well, I mean, like the character was also pretty young, so
That's true.
but it was just one of the biggest reveals, like in movies, period. Let alone a horror film.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I struggled with like all night. I stayed up trying to wrap my head around it. I was trying to understand, and I think maybe that was part of my problem. But I was like, Emily, I can't.
But then Amy can go.
Again.
But then Amy can go turn around and watch Revenge and love it.
It was fucking amazing.
I love that movie. I saw that for the first time at the Boston Underground Film Festival. Fucking
I've
great.
watched it
She
twice.
covered herself with a fucking beer can.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That
she
beer
loves that, but hates Sleepaway Camp.
That beer can scene was the only scene I had a problem with in the entire movie Revenge. And not because of what she did, just how it marked her skin. I was like,
It's true.
there's no
Not embossed.
yeah, like that's ink. That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
No, you're
But it
100%
looked
bang
cool.
on there. Yeah.
But it looked cool, yeah. It's I mean, she still pulled herself off a tree for God's sake. Like, that shit was nuts. I loved it.
I
Covered
loved
with
it
ants.
too. What's that?
I said she was covered with ants too. Yeah,
Cinematography was amazing in it too.
yeah, she was so good in that. She was so good.
I go in and out of. I was on a streak, I think about a year and a half ago, of also like Korean.
That's what Colleen was saying.
Yeah, I watched Audition, which I
Oof.
loved. I mean, it's disturbing, super disturbing stuff. Audition. I watched I Saw the Devil.
Yes.
Incredible movie. Like I
Mhm.
love them. They're always, they go there. Like their
Have you-
violence is pretty intense, but which I don't always do amazing with, but just the story just kept me in throughout the whole thing. But those are also both revenge-based films, so maybe I just have a theme about revenge that I really love.
Maybe. Have you
Yeah.
seen Train to Busan yet?
A little.
So good.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Good one. Great
one
one.
of the best zombie
Really?
movies come out in the past 25 years.
Oh, absolutely.
It made me sob. I cried so hard watching that movie. It's so good.
And that businessman, that guy's such a dick.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to watch that.
Amy, we'll watch it. We'll watch it.
Man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then they just came out with a sequel or prequel, Peninsula,
Yes.
and
Oh,
then they had the animated prequel.
sweet.
I forget.
Oh,
what
I
that
will say, now that we're talking about fandoms, actually, I love the whole Alien movies. I will watch anything aliens.
I just
Love,
rewatched
love, love.
all of them, and all the Predators and the Alien versus Predators. I watched all of them over the past couple weeks.
Fun.
Which one's the weakest, Patsy, of the movies?
Probably
Alien 3?
Predators. The Predator. Sorry, The Predator.
Yeah.
Didn't like Jordan, or no, not Jordan. It's Keegan Key or
Keegan. Yeah.
Keegan Michael Key.
It was just. I had much higher hopes for Shane Black returning to the franchise. But I mean, and probably Alien 3, although I did like Charles S. Dutton quite a bit. I watched all the director's cuts.
You think he rocks?
I watched all the director's cuts, so you get a little bit of backstory in Alien 3 where it comes out of the cow as opposed to the dog.
Oh.
So they changed things ever so slightly, and Alien 4 Resurrection was one of the most fun ones because of the cast that was in it. Although
it would have been better if they knew how to say their lines right, though.
Yeah, we have opinions, and this is where I formed an opinion of Joss Whedon. Was prior to all this other terrible shit that he was up to.
Right.
I read a quote about his reaction to Alien Resurrection, talking about basically how he was perfect and how everyone else screwed everything up. They the Academy Award winning actors didn't know how to say his lines, and the music department didn't know how to score the film, and they didn't know how to make sets, and they didn't know how to do anything. But he was perfect. He was the best. He was great.
I mean, that tracks, right?
I mean, yeah. And Brad Dourif, Ron Perlman, Sigourney Weaver.
Who are those people? I've never heard of them.
Yeah,
they'll probably never do anything.
No names.
Sounds like you just said flash in the pan, flash in the pan, flash in the pan. I don't know. Like a bunch of no-name ensembles, whatever.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif? What a nerd.
Who? Brad, what a dumb name.
Dorf? Wasn't that one of those characters Tim Conway played?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I know that.
Deep dive on that one, pal.
Yeah.
So, Amy and Emily, I have to know: are we? Because we talked about this when you guys were on last time. How I know things have been kind of crazy over the past year, but how are we looking on that Fear Farm sequel?
It's a good question. This year, sometime.
I hope so.
I really don't know. Yeah, I really haven't. I'm gonna guess because we're into April and it's not out yet. I'm gonna guess maybe they'll release it around October this year, just to hit the Halloween time stuff. But I really am not entirely sure yet. But I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, so am I. Ever since that movie ended, we watched it and it was just like, oh my god.
Dude,
oh.
Yeah, and especially I love the first one, and I know I'm biased, but I still love it. And the second one just has I don't know, it just got a whole new level to it, and I just can't fucking wait.
Yeah. If you guys have not seen it, Brandon and Colleen, Fear Farm is so fucking good.
It's pretty much everything that you want in an indie horror film.
It's like The Shining and
gory, and it's
Texas
kind of campy, and it's a lot of
Oh,
fun.
you had me at campy.
You had me at The Shining.
Yeah, right.
You had me at the spelling of farm.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, and there's some witty banter that happens too. It's highly entertaining.
That's awesome. Well, my daughter and I were looking for a good one to watch, so we'll have to let you
guys. This one, it's really great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The Criterion Collection. Excellent.
Brandon, this is the one you're looking for.
I like how there's the PH.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, now I don't think I'm particularly stupid, but I'm not finding this.
It's like The Shining meets The
What's
Firefly.
that? Oh no, my wife just confirmed I am particularly stupid.
Oh. Thanks, Sarah.
I love you so much.
I was like, the Chevy Chase movie? Oh, that's Funny Farm.
Yeah. And that's also a lie.
Yeah. I can think of two things wrong with this film.
Yeah, Chevy Chase. It's both of them.
I prefer the money pit. That is my answer.
Home crap home.
I like that. That is my response to that.
Oh, was it from Road to Wellville?
Oh my God, Road to Wellville.
Wow. See, these movies I know. You're throwing all these independent horror movies out there that scare the pants off me. And I'm like, let's go back to talking about the Care Bear movie, guys.
Didn't you guys think the face on the book was creepy when you were 7? No,
Yes.
Me neither. That'd be stupid, right?
We have somebody else joining. Ladies and gentlemen, from Amalgamania. She is Madam President. It is Miss Taryn Barber. Taryn,
Hello, everyone.
I know
Hello.
you and Justin,
Hello.
but you have Amy here, and you have Emily, and you have Powerful Brandon.
Hi.
Hi.
Taryn is a little group called Amalgamania, and
I
for
was saying
those of
not so little group called Amalgamania.
and for those of you who are unaware, we are doing this year the first ever Amalgamania Podcast and Entertainment Awards.
Cool.
Amalgamania, and who did they get to host that? I heard some couple of schmucks.
A guy who likes sharks and a girl with pink hair, I think. I
So
don't know.
Richard and Jem.
Yes.
Oh, Eric Stoltz.
So for folks who are listening, or maybe I think there's like 3 people watching, and 2 of them are Sarah right now. You have until the
Yeah, she is.
4th of May to submit your show for multiple different categories. You
And
go to
where can people submit?
amalga-mania.com, not amalga-amania. It's amalga. I'm screwing myself up. Also, rum.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Caribbean.
Exactly. Amalga-mania.com. And there's a link there for all the submission guidelines and any information. And if you want to ask questions, you can email us at amalgaawards@gmail.com as well.
Yes.
Yes. So if you yourself have a podcast or a YouTube channel or Twitch stream, and you would like to be submitted for consideration into the Amalga Awards, follow that link and submit yourself.
We actually, submit to Amalgamania.
Submit.
That should have been our tag.
Where's Crumb?
We actually have one person watching on Twitch. So hello, Twitch viewer.
Hello, Twitch viewer.
Hello, Twitcher.
Hi, Twitcher.
So,
toss a coin to your Twitcher.
we are we're getting close to who's the hottie with the pink hair. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, but I don't have pink hair.
It's Skull.
His name is Patrick.
Yes. So Taryn, we are going through and we are talking about our favorite fandoms and our favorite characters, and we are getting close to the end of the show, but I want to make sure that you get your picks in. So who are some of your favorite characters and some of your favorite fandoms?
Oh, man. Favorite characters? Magneto has always been a favorite. I love Bond from Seven Deadly Sins. Zorro from, oh man, it just the name of the anime just flew out of my head.
Taryn, you and I definitely have to talk about Seven Deadly Sins some other time.
We do. One Piece, that's it. Zorro from One Piece. I was thinking Fairy Tail, but I knew that wasn't it. Zorro from One Piece. I have some on the wall behind me. Not sure if you can see them.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about that guy over your left shoulder there?
The Joker. You're supposed to take them
Yeah.
That's awesome.
An awesome print. Of course, we have Wonder Woman and Jean Grey. And this is an original print. I'm not sure this character has a name, but the artist was at a con and I got that one and I just love look at that character.
Oh, neat.
That's very cool. Hold on,
Yeah.
let's hold on. Solo layout. Yeah, show us that again. We can see it a little bit better.
I love your Acid Kitty shirt too.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, she's cool.
Oh,
Very cool. She is, and the artist is actually in the group, and he saw me do a video with her on the wall in the back, and he got so excited that it's always being displayed somewhere.
Impersonations are incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so let's pop out there. Patrick says the impersonations are incredible. I don't know. Probably Justin's Sean Connery there. So what else?
You do your spine.
Scottish accent and a lisp. Good stuff.
The Scottish Spaniard. Wait, no, wasn't he Egyptian?
No, my name is Ramirez Highlander. I'm an ancient Egyptian posing as a Spaniard. What?
With a samurai sword.
What? And the French guy is playing the Scottish dude? Okay.
He's Belgian.
Did I hear Bane? No.
I mean,
not intentionally.
We can do Bane if you like. No, I am Gotham's Reckoning.
No, that was Venom. You mixed them up. No,
Oh, really? Really? I mixed up Tom Hardy? Thanks.
With shins on. Where's Leo? Come on.
So, Aaron, what's Acid Kitty?
Acid Kitty is a fandom-based bath and body product line that we have just started earlier this year. So we have a startup sale coming soon. We have homemade co-processed soap, body butters, body creams, dry oil sprays, perfume oils, sugar scrubs, salt scrubs. So it's an amazing range of products that we're currently working on.
Baby, talk dirty to me.
Sounds like she's talking clean.
Everything you're saying, I'm loving. Yes.
Yes. And all the products are inspired by different characters. So like the first collection is based on Team Arrow. So we have a soap that is representative of the different characters on that team with the fragrances to match and the colors that complement their uniforms and all that stuff. So it's really, really fun, and I'm extremely excited about it.
Awesome.
That sounds amazing.
I know. Really cool.
Yeah, Taryn
Thank
does amazing stuff, and she posts some of her.
She posts these videos of her like coloring the soaps and like pouring
them in the mold. Hypnotic.
Watching all the colors mixed together, and then watching everything like get poured in, and she's so clean and neat. When
there's no drips in between. I'm always waiting. I'm hoping like, is it gonna drip? Is it gonna? No, she got it in the hole.
Her like the soaps out of the silicone molds, and I don't know why, but it is so satisfying to watch.
That's awesome. It's satisfying too. I'm actually doing another one tonight. I have the Oliver Queen soap to cut.
Ooh, I'm guessing that one's green.
Yeah, green and black and gray. And just based on the outside of the mold, it looks like it came out pretty awesome. So I'm excited to cut that one.
Awesome. So we're at just shy of 3 hours. So we're gonna start wrapping things up, but before we do, we want to.
Maybe we should talk about a couple of our favorite fandoms before we wrap things
well,
up.
That's what I'm saying. Like before we wrap things up, let's talk about what we like.
Wine and Jaws. Okay, guys.
Wait, how long is the list?
So why don't you start?
So I like a lot of different things. I'm a pretty well-rounded nerd when it comes to different fandoms and stuff. I love Game of Thrones. Obviously, our listeners know that. I love Cersei Lannister. I think she is just one of the great. She is one of the greatest characters of all time in my book. I love horror.
Mm-hmm.
I love the campy. Kind of kitschy part of horror as well. I also love the really bloody gore horror type stuff too. So everything from Trick or Treat. I love Sam, the little dude who is the spirit of Halloween, who runs around and makes sure that everyone's following all the rules. To I love Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees. There's something about this man, this menacingly just being, stalking these campers, these people in this hockey mask and machete. That's just, it just does it for me. I really like it. And there's some great kills in that franchise too. Keeping with horror, Hellraiser. I love Pinhead. Have had the opportunity to meet Doug Bradley.
Doug Bradley held the door for you.
Yeah, he's such a gentleman in person. Another one, I really love the Saw franchise. I thought that the initial film was so genius, and the concept and everything. I mean, it wasn't flawless, but it was so good. And some of the subsequent films weren't as good, but I think as a whole, the franchise itself really holds up.
It was great.
I'm kind of eager to see
Spiral,
this whole kind of like new part of the Jigsaw story coming out that Chris Rock is a part of.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that. I heard about Spiral. I didn't hear about the Chris Rock thing. That's
They just dropped the trailer.
I don't know. I range from, I love Schitt's Creek. I love Laura Rose. I want to be just like her when I grow up. I love The Nanny. Fran Drescher. I grew up watching her. And
Niles is the man.
The entire series is on HBO now. Just makes my heart so incredibly happy. Love Sex in the City. Samantha Jones, I love her so much. I think she is one of the greatest characters, greatest female characters ever created. So sex positive and so just like out there and ballsy. I love the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls will always have a special place in my heart. Every time I eat a cheesecake, I think of them sitting around the table. I love Blanche.
Every time you rest under a shady pine.
Yes. We went away last weekend for Patsy's birthday, and we had a porch, and I kept calling it a lanai. I'm like, on the lanai, and he's like, "What's a lanai?"
I didn't know what the hell she was talking
and I'm
about.
like, "Just go with it. Just tease to me. Just." I love cartoons, different Nicktoons like Rugrats, obviously SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes. I love old Cartoon Network like the Powerpuff Girls, the old Powerpuff Girls from the 90s, cartoon Powerpuff Girls.
Tartarovsky.
Oh God.
Did you see the documentary that just came out about SpongeBob? It's on Paramount Plus, and they're doing SpongeBob as told by My Favorite Episodes. And it's all with puppets on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
you had me.
Did you see what they're doing with the live action Powerpuff Girls?
So I know that that's a thing.
I saw
And
pictures of it.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
I have opinions. And how can they save the world before bedtime if they're grown-ups?
They can't.
I mean, do they have a later bedtime? Like,
yeah, they just do it before midnight now, and that's it.
You have an extended period of time to.
And it ranges. I love, specific characters. Like, obviously, I love Jem from Jem and the Holograms. I love Catwoman. Specifically,
good call.
I love Julie Newmar, and I love Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Yeah,
I
those
think
are my
that,
favorites.
oh my God, I just whenever I see
My favorite
Michelle
Catwoman.
Catwoman, it just makes me so incredibly excited, and I think she did such a great job with it.
And you did meet Lee Merriweather.
I did meet Lee Merriweather, and she's another one of my favorite Catwomen. Just fantastic. I'm not as big of a fan of the animated Catwomen, but I think the live action versions are just top.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And drag queens. I love drag queens. I think everyone. I love drag queens.
No shit, right?
I know,
How
right?
is that not higher up on the list?
Yeah. You want to talk RuPaul? You want to talk Dragula? You want to talk Divine? Call me.
Alaska Thunderfuck 5000.
Yeah. She's a
I don't know. Alaska.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, it's fairly simple. I mean, for my birthday, Ash got me this sweet hat, which also says that on the side and has this in the middle.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
So you're super into trucker hats.
Yeah.
He likes hats.
Fun
yes.
story pertaining to Jaws, and I don't know if you guys know this, but we interviewed Jeffrey Voorhees a few weeks ago, who played Alex Kittner who was the kid buddy. And it looks like Taryn has to drop off. But thank you, Taryn. We appreciate you stopping.
Thank you. I love you guys. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you as well.
Bye.
Wait, before you go, where do you like people following you? Okay.
I would say they could check out
Amalgamania.
Yeah.
So it turns out, the story of how the shark never worked and, there was always problems with it all the time. Well, it turns out that Jeffrey Voorhees and his friends would go break into the warehouse where they would keep the mechanical sharks and jump on them and play on them and just like fuck around with them in general. And then like the next day they'd be like, hey, the shark's not working.
Whoops.
I wonder why.
Outstanding.
And he told us that story and I was like, oh, that's amazing. We do have a comment from Mr. Turner about his favorite fandoms. He says the ginger girl from Cycle of the Hunter. And for those of you who are unfamiliar,
wow,
that's a throwback. Cycle of the Hunter
huge throwback.
is my first book that I ever wrote about vampires who have the vampire trait passed down genetically. And so you could go generations without knowing that you are a carrier of this vampire gene, and you don't realize your full potential until you take your first victim or someone bites you in order to unlock your abilities. And there's a character that was in it, and she was pretty badass, who dies at the end, but it's okay because nobody read that book. But
well, now we don't have to.
I was gonna say.
There was I brought her back in the sequel that never happened, called Night Rise, but it was very, very good the way I brought her back, and I'm going to rewrite this because I want it to.
I hope before you tell us, don't.
Yeah. I'm a huge Jaws fan. Ash has also got me the soundtrack
Nice
on vinyl, which is absolutely amazing.
And it's the Mondo variant that they released, I think, last year or 2 years ago.
Oh, that's so cool.
The variant artwork and stuff on it.
I'm knocking shit down left and right. So
Did you guys hear that last year was the first year in maybe like 25 years where vinyl outsold every other like CDs and
I believe it.
I heard that, yeah.
I love vinyl. I think it's a fantastic thing to collect, but also listen to it, being, really into music. Like the sound quality on vinyl is just spectacular.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. I go to like the Salvation Armies and stuff, and you can get them for really cheap, and I'll find like the most random and weird stuff. Speaking of the Care Bears movie, like all the time, Justin, I actually have the soundtrack on vinyl. I have like it's a He-Man and She-Ra like whole audio story on vinyl,
I
and
probably
like
had that one.
oh my god,
I found the Spider-Man
Wonder
one at
Woman
the
story.
Salvation Army.
Yep. There's all kinds of crazy stuff out
I
there.
had the Fraggle Rock record, and I wore that thing out.
Let's see what else. Obviously, The Simpsons.
Sci-fi films.
I love sci-fi films. Obviously, we
Monster Squad. Oh.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, we're gonna get to that. I actually
Okay.
asked Andre to be.
Sorry, I had an awesome movie stuck in my throat.
Oh, I invited Andre Gower to be on the show.
Frighteners. Oh, sorry.
I just watched it yesterday.
Yes.
But we had Amy on to talk about Battle Star Wars, which is a movie that I very much enjoyed.
I'm having a little trouble hearing. I keep getting a loud noise blocking everything out. Like
Clicking. I think that usually happens on some of the mobile phones sometimes.
Hold on, let me just try. Hold on, it might be Amy. Let me mute Amy for a moment.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Amy. Yeah, it's you, Amy.
If you exit and come back in, I think it might work. That happened one time before when we streamed.
We're almost done.
There are so many really great fandoms out there, and new things keep coming. I mean, we even talk about Disney,
Godzilla,
the
Simpsons.
cult of Disney. I love Disney so much.
Some sort of interstellar conflict in space that you like.
Yeah, galactic battle, something
Yeah.
like that.
Galactic battle.
Laser blast.
Space Journey, I believe, is what it's called. That's the other one.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe is another really great one, and
The
Amy touched
Monsterverse?
base on that a little bit. Yeah, the Monsterverse. I mean, there's so many things, so many really good characters coming out of all of these different fandoms that are, really noteworthy.
And I'm also a big collector of sports memorabilia. If you take a look behind me,
Yeah, I mean,
all
speaking
of
of
them.
fandom, go Bruins.
Got the and Amy, you'll appreciate this, and JD would have as well. The Team Canada Patrice Bergeron gold medal jersey, signed by Patrice Bergeron.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yeah,
That's awesome.
a lot of stuff. Like, there's so many things. Like, we could sit here.
I mean,
for
there's so
10
many
hours
things that
and
we
not
didn't even
on
touch
it.
base on. Like, we recently started watching Attack on Titan.
Oh, wow.
I was
You'll
just
love
talking
that.
about starting watching that tonight.
The end is coming. They actually, I'd stay away from Amalgamania's affiliated anime thing because they just released the last manga chapter.
Still on the first season.
I think we're like 12, 13 episodes into
But
this
like,
series.
holy
But we also have the
shit.
live action
It
movies
gets
that we're looking to check out.
Like,
Way
I never thought I would be heavily. Like, anime is not.
Yeah, I thought you hated anime.
Well, I mean, it's not that I hated it, but
Everyone hates it till they find their niche because there's so much variety when it comes to anime. It's like it's
blood and gore
like
that's
comics.
in this
It's a
anime.
hard watch. Yeah.
It's just incredible, and the Titan design is. I'm
creepy
blown
and
away.
unnerving.
Like, it's really
They
creepy.
pull no punches at all.
So we've just hit 3 hours. So I'm gonna say
Yeah,
we
now's
should-
a good time to wrap it up.
So we'll start with Brandon. Brandon, where do you like folks to follow your exploits on the interwebs?
On the interweb. So I'm glad you specified. I'm going to say definitely not through a dark park. On the interwebs, I am one of the two founders of the Facebook group Powers Combined. We're a geek group for all genres of geek. It's not just like comic books or anything. It's like it's anything: horror, gaming, video games, whatever.
I've
Like, you
posted my sports stuff in there a few times.
yeah, honestly, I mean, it's a place that I started with my buddy Eric because I wanted a group for geeks and nerds to go where, I mean, I say this every time, our number one rule is don't be a jerk. That is the fucking cardinal rule. You come in, and especially because one of the things that I hate about a lot of other geeky groups I've seen out there is people join, and there are people who have been doing whatever for many years, and they are very knowledgeable. And then there are novices, there are new people who don't know, and they actually have questions. And sometimes you want to see what somebody's opinion is, like not just a fact about a thing, to determine whether or not you want to try it or look into it more. And I've seen so many times when people ask questions that these older fans of whatever you may be there for just start ripping them apart. They gatekeep like nobody's fucking business.
Yep.
And I hate that.
Yep.
I absolutely despise it. One of the things I love most in my life is getting to show someone something I love and having them take a chance on it. You know, like they asked you and you are giving your genuine opinion. And that's fun. Like, hopefully they enjoy it. And if not, maybe it leads to something else that they like it more / instead. That's the fun of it. And that's what we try to do. We really just have a good time and try to share info and just, let people know, like, it's okay. Come in, tell a joke, share a meme, find out a bit of news that's shared from, about a movie or a television show. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry what's going to be said otherwise, because the second somebody's acting like a gatekeeper or just an all-out prick, they're gone. Full on stanky boot out the door.
Yep.
So Powers Combined, come on down. Seriously. I think you'll like it.
All right, Coop, how about you?
That's a great group. I actually just posted there yesterday. So you can find me in Amalgamania. So I am part of the committee to help with this the podcast and entertainment awards. So you can check us out there. So that is Amalga So AMALGA-mania, MANIA.com. Check us out. If you know anyone who is looking to get recognized for their work as a content creator, as a podcaster, a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, send them along. Anything. If you know any shows, you can look me up on Facebook. Justin Cooper, or you can look me up on Instagram. I think it's Booster Blue, something. I'm not really sure. Most of the time, it's something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. So, but most of the time, you can find me in the audience of Throwdown Thursday, which is my favorite podcast that I listen to all the time. You can find me in the audience of the Old Man Wade Show, in the audience of Retro Redoctopus, and various other podcasts that I listen to.
See, it's kind of like when you go to a concert and they're like, "Yeah, this is the rowdiest town we've ever been to. This is our favorite venue." So he does the same thing when he's on Retro with Octopus. Same thing. I get it.
Yeah, I am kind of a professional podcast.
All you want. I'm here for it.
Yeah, please. Colleen, what do you like to conquer?
Everything. Like I said before, I am like the reigning empress of the nerdoverse. So like I'm always talking about everything. I'm always a fan of everything. And my favorite thing is the next thing I haven't, watched or seen yet. But you can find me. I'm always over at Amalgamania. You can also find me in the audience of Powers Combined and Throwdown Thursday. I love all of you guys. And I'm also on Facebook as Colleen. It's actually COL_LE_EN because I just didn't feel like having any other name than my first name, and Facebook looked down on that. So, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
And we can find you in some of the sports raffle groups where you keep winning.
Right, where I got this Bruins jersey.
In the group that she found through me.
Yes, I yanked that.
Tell them what you just won a couple nights ago.
I did. I won a signed O.J. Simpson's helmet. So that was exciting.
Like the fourth thing you've won. It's insane.
My group has won 3 football helmets.
You gotta be careful. He might come looking for that.
Dipped
That's what I said.
Yellow with like mud on it. Oh, it was great.
Yeah, she won an authentic
Dallas Clark.
an authentic on-field helmet. Like you could literally put this on and play in the NFL.
It's that easy. Yeah.
We got the replica from the college replica for O.J. Simpson, the USD Trojans, and it even says Heisman 68 on it. And then she won the mini helmet for Dallas Clark, and that was such a pain mailing it to you. I'm just going to bring your stuff to you from now on. Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe that's
incorrect, Patrick. Incorrect.
It sounded like a Bruins buzzer. Like
they did win tonight. They won 4-2 with Jeremy Swayman in that.
Oh, against the Capitals, that's huge.
So, Emily, where can folks follow you? I know you're very active on Instagram.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find me at It's Emily Sweet. So not Emily Sweet, it's Emily Sweet.
And you post some awesome stuff up there. And Amy, I love your Instagram because you're always posting these pictures of you just being an absolute fucking badass. So where can folks find you?
So yeah, on Instagram is the main one at Stoltinator. So my last name's Stolte, and then an Ader like the Terminator. And I'm on Facebook, which I, check here and there. And I'm on Twitter, which I never use, which I should use, and just at Amy Stolte. And of course, I will always pop into a Throwdown Thursday podcast any chance I get.
Which is awesome. And we love having you because you guys are just an absolute delight. I love having you guys on.
So fun to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations again.
Thank you. Yeah, 250. Like this is our 250th consecutive
That's awesome.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like even last Friday, like we skipped last Friday for the sports show, and we got 30 episodes straight on Friday for that, and we were like, because last Friday was my birthday, and it was just like, you know what? Like neither one of us was feeling great. Like let's we're going away for the weekend. Let's take the week off. But we
You
did take the
deserve
week off for Throwdown Thursday. And that's the thing. We have never taken a week
Happy
off for
birthday
Throwdown.
too.
Thank you.
I'd say this is Throwdown Thursday is my second longest running relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You've been on since episode like 3.
3.
Yeah. So
And then you couldn't get rid of me.
no, like in real life or on the show.
You're welcome.
Oh well, yeah.
Maybe we should add an extra nickname for Ashes.
Exactly.
Here.
Exactly.
Ashes, you
The
say
loyal.
to him, he doesn't have to put up with you. He
He
gets to.
Yeah.
That was
I got you. I got you, girl.
yes. Turning it back on me. Yes, that was literally part of the wedding vows when I said, like, does this mean you have to put up with everything? No, it means you get to.
Outstanding.
And what's sad is none of you guys were at our wedding.
Aw.
So
But in fairness to me, I didn't know you existed then. So.
I didn't know.
Yeah, same.
I didn't know him either.
It was an arranged marriage. Our parents have joined our houses.
My dowry was a goat, a chicken,
And a textile factory.
Jeez, this reminds me of The Quiet Man. Yeah,
I remind you of The Quiet Man.
yeah, with the dowry. Come on, Brandon gets it.
Yeah, no, not literally, pal.
I meant the movie, not the guy.
Well, I want to thank you guys again for taking the time out of your day. Especially Brandon and Justin and Colleen being here pretty much all night. Colleen has a bunch of youngins running around being crazy.
4. Yeah. I got 2 down though before I got in, so I'm good. It's just the 13 and 10-year-old that are up now running amok. So they're having fun.
You want to be up. You don't want the other 2 up.
Yeah, no, they're 1 and 2, so that would not be pleasant.
Thank you so much for
always a pleasure.
taking the time. And yeah, you guys
Thank
have an
you.
invitation anytime. Even if you have something to promote, you guys can come on and just shoot the shit.
Just hang out.
We'll drink wine or rum or whatever you happen to have.
Yeah.
Sing Hamilton songs.
Oh,
Horrible sing-along songs.
that would be great, huh?
So I think
I was saying, first of all, to our listeners, thank you so much for sticking with us for 250 episodes.
thank you for everybody who was watching tonight.
Cheers to the next 250. And I think with that being said, we will
See you next Thursday.
Thursday. Go!
Bye, guys. Congratulations.